Chapter 1996. The mist of blood dissipated. The gigantic body had been sliced into pieces by Yi Chen's sword and fell to the ground. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At that moment, the scattered pieces of flesh and blood began to converge and rush toward a certain direction. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. He waved his finger and used samadhi, true fire, to purify. The pained howl rang out again. The Soul Eater was trying to resurrect itself with its own secret technique. Just as the combination of sword energy and samadhi, true fire, was about to burn away the Soul Eater's last hope, a huge python appeared in the sky. Whoosh! The python revealed itself and suddenly unleashed a torrent of attacks at Yi Chen. Rumble. Lightning flashed and muffled thunder boomed. The python devoured the entire land and disappeared without a trace. Yi Chen could sense the Emperor of the Underworld's energy on the python. He was certain that it was one of the 18 emperors. 18 emperors of the Underworld. Come out and see me now, or I'll destroy the entire Underworld. Yi Chen's voice shook heaven and earth. Damn it, the Arch-Emperor roared. In his eyes, Yi Chen was too arrogant. Where would the face of the Underworld go? At that moment, the python returned and spat out a mouthful of flesh that contained the Soul Eater's primordial spirit. Soul Eater, I didn't expect you to enter a coffin as soon as you came out of seclusion. How disappointing, the Snake Queen said coldly, looking at the flesh and blood. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The flesh and blood began to change, growing and expanding, and green, poisonous blood seeped out. Finally, it turned into a strange man with an octopus head. Snake Queen, please calm down. After becoming an adult, he bowed to the Snake Queen. I had the Bone Emperor and the Corpse Emperor awaken the 9 emperors so that you could build your reputation. Now, you've been chopped into minced meat by Yi Chen. What a joke. Snake Queen, this person is unfathomable. I was careless. I didn't save you to listen to this. Recuperate immediately. The mission is waiting for you. Yes. The Soul Eater left the hall in fear and returned to its own territory to recuperate. The Snake Queen and the Arch-Emperor were left in the hall. What do you think? Asked the Snake Queen. Now that Yi Chen is unstoppable, he's also looking for the Netherlord. Why don't we go with the flow and help him find the Netherlord? When the Netherlord returns, he'll definitely kill Yi Chen. That's the best outcome. The Arch-Emperor said. Haha, that's not a bad idea. However, Su Yuhan is nowhere to be found. It won't be easy for the Netherlord to return. Snake Queen, when I went to the White Frost Forest earlier, I saw the power left behind by the Lord of the Underworld transforming into a frost lizard to assassinate Yi Chen. It's obvious that the Lord of the Underworld's consciousness has awakened. I don't think Su Yuhan can fight the Lord of the Underworld's consciousness. That makes sense. Go and prepare these things. With that, she handed a black jade slip to the Arch-Emperor. Yes, the Arch-Emperor immediately took action. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, you've really surprised me. You've actually cultivated to the conjoint body stage in such a short time. Your strength even far surpasses ordinary conjoint body stage cultivators. How many more surprises can you bring me? As she spoke, the Snake Queen stretched out her arm to take a look. Several green snakes crawled out of her sleeves before disappearing into the darkness. Outside the Netherworld Temple, Yi Chen and the others were still waiting. Fellow Taoist Yi, I think the 18 emperors of the Underworld won't dare to come out and fight you. Indeed, they said that the Netherworld emperors also want the Netherlord to return. That should be true. Yi Chen said. The Patriarch nodded. If even the Netherworld emperors don't know where the Netherlord is, how are we going to find him? We can only rely on the Nether Chi crystals. Even if I have to search every inch of the Netherworld, I'll find Yuhan. Ha ha, then we'll have to keep you company. The Patriarch laughed. Thank you, Patriarch. Yi Chen revealed a smile, but he soon became serious. With every passing second, the danger of Su Yuhan's complete transformation increased. That was the most dangerous thing. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Suddenly, the giant python appeared above the clouds again. This time, there was a person standing on the head of the giant python. She was enchanting and charming. It was the Snake Queen. Yi Chen, She called out to Yi Chun. Who are you? Do you want to tell me where the Netherlord is? Yi Chun asked. It's true that we don't know where the Netherlord is, but we have the same goal. Why can't we work together? Work together? Yi Chun's eyes gleamed coldly. Don't be so hostile. We also want to find the Netherlord. You want to find your wife, don't you? So what if I do? Perhaps the Netherlord can be separated from Su Yuhan? Yi Chun was shocked to hear that. Are you serious? If the Netherlord could really be separated from Su Yuhan, that would be the best outcome. Of course, this is the method that I read in the ancient books of the Netherworld. The Netherlord is the reincarnation of the primordial spirit. As long as there's a perfect body, the Netherlord's primordial spirit will return to the body. Then, Su Yuhan can return to her original form. Yi Chun thought that it was possible after hearing what the Snake Queen said. Of course, he would not believe it easily. After all, this person's charming eyes and enchanting figure gave people a feeling of disbelief. So, do you have a body? Ha ha, that's why I'm looking for you this time. Oh, I need your help to forge the body that the Netherlord returns to. How can I help you? You have the immortal demonic power. Yi Chun's eyes turned cold when he heard the Snake Queen's words. She seemed to know many secrets. Since you know, I won't hide it. As he spoke, Yi Chun released the immortal demonic power. Black and white energy soared into the sky. Since the Snake Queen had revealed this secret, the forging of the Netherlord's body would definitely require this power. Yi Chun might as well release it directly to convince the Snake Queen. That way, Yi Chun would be of great value to them, and many things would be easier in the future. Very well, it's this power. The Netherlord has returned to forge the immortal demonic fusion body. Yi Chun, our cooperation is the best outcome. This way, you can move freely in the Netherworld and even get my help. Oh, is it that simple? These are the words of the Snake Queen. I'll definitely carry it out in the Netherworld. All right, I'll believe you. However, if you dare to lie to me, don't blame me for peeling off your snake scales. Ha! I really hope that one day I can lie in your arms and let you skin me. Let's go. Hearing the Snake Queen's tempting words, Yi Chun turned around coldly, and the three of them left. Ha! What an interesting man. He's really to my liking. The Snake Queen looked at Yi Chun's departing figure with a look of greed. Her tongue kept licking her lips, and her eyes revealed the desire of a snake person. Chapter 1997. With Yi Chun's departure, the Snake Empress finally settled the matter. Congratulations, Snake Empress, for quelling Yi Chun's rebellion. Many underworld combatants came out and bowed. Many things don't have to be solved by force. Cooperate with Yi Chun to find Su Yuhan and inform me immediately if there's any news. Yes, everyone acted. After leaving the underworld temple, Yi Chun and the Patriarch continued to search for Su Yuhan. With the effect of the nether energy crystals, Yi Chun could only find a general direction. It would take a long time to find Su Yuhan. After all, the Lord's energy was erratic and difficult to figure out. No one expected that at the same time at the entrance to the underworld. Rumble. The earth trembled as the True Spirit Temple descended again. This time, the True Spirit Temple sent out almost all of its elites. Even countless ordinary combatants came. The Lord of True Spirit was going all out this time because he wanted to show off his abilities in front of perfected being Thundercloud and gain his attention. Who are you? At this moment, the underworld army guarding 3,000 feet came forward to question. Ha ha ha. However, the True Spirit Lord laughed wildly and struck out with his palm. Rumble. The huge palm descended like a mountain, opening a path. The entire army was instantly reduced to flesh and bones. Mighty Spirit Lord. Many Spirit World powerhouses exclaimed in admiration. This time, the True Spirit Lord not only mobilized all the True Spirit Temple combatants, but also many people from other forces in the spirit realm. This time, they must conquer the underworld. Let's go. Yes. Everyone boarded the sword boat and charged toward the underworld army. Rumble. Under the True Spirit Lord's powerful attack, the underworld gate could no longer resist and shattered on the spot. The huge sword boat passed through the underworld gate and entered the underworld. The Demon Hall. reporting to the Devil Lord, the true Spirit Temple's army has arrived at the underworld. The balance of the three realms has been broken. A Devil Lord stepped forward and reported. Ha! The true Spirit Lord's ambition is revealed. He wants to obtain the core of the three realms alone? Impossible. The Devil Lord suddenly stood up, his eyes filled with excitement. The War of the Three Realms was the moment of the Devil World's rise. He had long wanted this effect. Gather all the Devil World elites and prepare for battle. Yes, after the experts of the Devil World left, the Devil World's sovereign headed towards a secret location. There was an incomparably tall altar here. At the same time, it was surrounded by grand statues of demon gods. He cut his finger and released his blood onto the altar. As the blood flowed onto the sacrificial altar, with the help of the Madrah, the blood turned into streaks of blood and began to spread along specific vein patterns. It was very strange. As the blood spread out, it formed a huge demon god seal. Boom! Then, the demon god statue on the altar began to rumble. Following that, a huge demonic consciousness descended on the demon god statue. Boundless Devil, what's the matter? A heavy sound and a majestic might instantly cause the entire world to tremble, and the surroundings became incredibly strange. Demon Lord, the ruler of the demon realm, actually knelt on the ground and bowed piously. It turned out that the Devil Realm was just a small world of the Devil Race. The real Devil Race's upper realm communicated their intentions through the Devil God statue. This time, I wish to repay the Three Realms core. Oh, the Three Realms core has already become the target of contention between the Devil Realm, the Spirit Realm, and the Divine Realm. This time, the Lord of the True Spirit has mobilized all the elites of the Spirit Realm to attack the Divine Realm. This must be an order from the primordial immortal empire. Has the primordial immortal empire really made a move? I believe there will be definite news very soon. The Three Realms core concerns the convergence of the Devil Realm, the Spirit Realm, and the Divine Realm. I order you to act immediately. Thank you for your trust, Demon Lord. Boundless Devil bowed again, and the Demon God seal gradually extinguished and then dissipated. Ha! Let the great war begin. Previously, the Devil Realm had not gained any advantage in the 6 immortal and demon techniques. In this great war of the Three Realms, Boundless Devil would definitely avenge himself. Walking out of the altar, Boundless Devil flew up to the sky and landed on the plaza. All elites of the Devil Realm, now is the time for you to achieve your goals. The Demon Lord of the Upper Realm has ordered us to attack the Divine Realm and carry out the great war of the Three Realms. Roar, roar, roar. Hearing this, countless Devil Realm warriors roared in anger. They were all warlike people and were naturally excited to receive such an order. All experts, follow me to invade the Divine Realm and fight for the Three Realms core. Yes, the sky was filled with Devil Realm elites. The Devil Realm's advantage lay in their numbers. This time, they would trample all their enemies with their iron hooves. Rumble. A huge sword boat appeared before them, and countless Devil Realm warriors boarded it. 3,000 Zhang of the Yellow Springs. ZZZ. A huge Devil Realm sword boat appeared in the sky, with Boundless Devil personally holding the line. Not good, hide quickly. Seeing such a shocking scene, the 3,000 Zhang of the Yellow Springs controlled the Yellow Springs. The Yellow Springs sect people hurriedly ordered their people to hide, but they were already a step too late. Human trash, die. Boundless Devil struck out with a palm, heading straight for the Yellow Springs sect people. Get out of the way. Yellow Springs Taoist stepped forward to block, but how could he be Boundless Devil's match? Unable to withstand the might of the Yellow Springs, his body exploded and he died. With a scream, Yellow Springs' Taoist body turned into countless pieces of blood and flesh. Seeing such a scene, everyone was stunned. They had not expected the Devil Realm to be so cruel, not giving the humans any chance at all. Everyone, get out of here. There was no other way. At this moment, they could only leave as many people as they could. No one cared about the foundation of the Yellow Springs. This place had become the battlefield of the spirit realm, the demon realm, and the netherworld. No one could survive here. Ha ha ha. Destroy them all. In order to get revenge on Yi Chun, the spirit emperor and boundless devil flew up into the sky and unleashed their slaughter divine ability. Devil extermination, devil dragon devour. Roar. The two horns on boundless devil's head glowed with strange light, which transformed into two devil dragons that began to devour everyone. No. Agony. Countless experts fell under the demon dragon's attack. Rivers of blood flowed in the Yellow Springs sect, and mountains of corpses piled up. It had truly become the Yellow Springs Gate, the entrance to hell. Ha ha ha. Let's go. Rumble. The slaughter was complete, and the enormous devil boat shot down into the Yellow Springs sect, the gate to the netherworld. The spirit boat and the devil boat entered the netherworld at the same time, and the entire netherworld was shaken. In the netherworld palace, Snake Empress, exalted Snake Empress, an expert from the netherworld flew into the palace. What's the fuss? The Arch-Emperor asked angrily. Not good. Not good. The spirit realm and devil realm are invading at the same time. What? The Arch-Emperor's face fell. Chapter 1998. There's actually such a thing. The Snake Queen was equally shocked. That bastard Lord True Soul must have attracted the attention of the demonic sovereign. We should have killed him, the Arch-Emperor said. There's no point talking about this now. Summon the Corpse King and Bone King. Summon all the 9 emperors. Kill anyone who disobeys. Yes, the underworld experts carried out the order. Only the Snake Queen and the Arch-Emperor remained in the hall. Your Excellency, it seems that the War of the Three Realms is inevitable. It's just that it's going to happen in the underworld, which is very bad for us. That's right. The Lord True Soul and the demonic sovereign want to make a good impression in the upper world and ascend. That's why the Three Realms Core is the best way for them to do that. All 18 emperors must go to war. I wonder if Yi Chun will be on our side. Well, Yi Chun's image appeared in the Snake Queen's mind. I think he will. Then, a strange smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. Back in the abyss, the Corpse King and the Bone King were still trying to figure out how to summon more people. Bone King, Corpse King, the Snake Queen has ordered us to summon all the 9 emperors. What? Just summoning one Soul Eater was enough to kill them. And now, they had to summon all the 9 emperors? That's an order. Kill anyone who disobeys. Damn it. The Corpse King and the Bone King were furious. But since it was an order, they had to carry it out. We understand. Go. Yes. After the messenger left, the Corpse King and the Bone King headed into the depths of the abyss. At a lake in the demonic abyss, the two stopped in their tracks. You must have sensed it, right? The Corpse King asked. Of course. This order is no coincidence. The spirit realm and the demonic sovereign are coming to the underworld at the same time. It's going to be a war of the 3 realms. The 3 realms core is a scourge. If it weren't for it, how could the underworld be targeted? There's no other way. Carry out the order. AI. Left with no other choice, the two of them unleashed their secret techniques. At this moment, the demonic arc and the spirit arc appeared in the void at the same time. Even though they were separated by tens of thousands of miles, the Lord of True Spirit and the Sovereign Lord of the demonic world could sense each other. I didn't think that the Sovereign Lord of the demon realm would come as well. A cold look appeared on Lord True Spirit's face. Although he had thought of this before, he did not expect the ruler of the devil realm to come so quickly. It was possible that the ruler of the devil realm had taken action immediately after the True Spirit Palace had entered. Given their speed, it was possible that the ruler of the devil realm knew where the target of the spiritual realm was. Spirit Lord, has our target been exposed? It seems so. The core of the 3 realms has become something on the surface. Since that's the case, let's have a war of the 3 realms and let the immortals of the upper world see the strength of the true Spirit Hall. Yes, Spirit Lord. Many experts cupped their hands in acknowledgement. This was their best chance to rise. As long as they grasped it, ascending to the primordial immortal empire was just around the corner. Immediately send out scouts to track the demonic boat. Yes. Soon, the experts sent by the True Spirit Palace rushed toward the entrance of the netherworld. On a peak in the underworld, Yi Chun and the other two stood alone. "Fellow Taoist Yi, did you sense it?" The patriarch looked into the distance with a solemn expression. "Yes, the demon realm and the spirit realm are invading at the same time. I didn't expect that. It seems that the core of the three realms that the true Spirit Lord told me about is very important. I believe that it must be the source of the strongest power of the three tribulations." Yichen had thought about it for a long time. The true Spirit Lord was the master of a realm. It was unreasonable for him to take the risk to enter the underworld alone. This time, the arrival of two great cultivation levels indicated the problem. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yichen opened his fiery eye and instantly locked onto the void. At this time, two huge masses of energy appeared at the same time. It was the true Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang. In this way, with Yi Chun, the three huge masses of energy formed a triangular shape, facing each other. Above the Buddha pagoda in the underworld, the Snake Queen appeared at the same time. Yi Chun occupied the position of the Azure Dragon in the east. The Snake Queen occupied the position of the White Tiger in the west. The True Spirit Lord occupied the position of the Vermilion Bird in the south, and the Demon Realm Overlord occupied the position of the Black Tortoise in the north. The Starry Sky phenomenon. For symbols rising at the same time. True Spirit Lord, Mo Wujiang, you dare to invade the underworld? The Snake Queen was the first to speak. The 1,000-mile voice transmission reached 10,000 miles away. Ha ha ha, so it's the underworld Snake Queen. Hand over the core of the three realms, and the demon realm will withdraw immediately. We'll even help you destroy the true Spirit Palace and Yichun. Mo Wujiang laughed loudly. Ridiculous, Snake Queen. The true Spirit Palace can also offer the same conditions. The true Spirit Lord said. Oh, so the underworld has become the ruler. Yichun, what do you think? The Snake Queen looked to the east and asked. I'll only fulfill our agreement. Snake Queen, I don't think you'll go back on your word. The Snake Queen did not expect Yichun to change the topic and turn the tables. What? You have an agreement. The true Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang were furious. This is a private matter. It has nothing to do with the core of the three realms. Don't hide it anymore. In that case, Snake Queen, we'll find a core ourselves. I should have known that the war of the three realms was inevitable. How could I trust you? In an instant, the underworld, the spirit realm, and the devil realm fell apart. It was extremely difficult to cooperate. After all, this was the underworld, the Snake Queen's territory. The true Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang naturally did not trust her. Hearing that she was cooperating with Yichun, they could not bear it. The true Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang did not have a good impression of Yichun. They had suffered greatly at his hands. Sigh, what a pity. The Snake Queen's voice suddenly changed. Since the other party had no intention of cooperating, as the representative of the underworld, she naturally would not yield. Wait for your death. Mo Wujiang roared angrily, although the connection was severed. Snake Queen, the true Spirit Palace only wants the core of the three realms. Also, I have to tell you that the primordial immortal world has received the news. An Almighty will descend soon. Can you resist? Ha ha ha. Following the wild laughter, the true Spirit Lord severed the connection at the same time. The primordial immortal world. The Snake Queen turned pale with fright. If they really wanted someone to descend, then things would be troublesome. Subsequently, Yichun severed the connection without waiting for the Snake Queen's reply. He did not care how many forces came, no matter how many powerhouses came. He only had one goal, and that was to find Su Yuhan. The war of the three realms was imminent. Once Su Yuhan returned to her underworld lord state, she would only become a sacrifice. This was an outcome that Yichun did not want to see no matter what. We have to find Yuhan before the Snake Queen. No problem, fellow Yi. I'll definitely help you. All right, let's go. The three of them flew out. Under the guidance of the nether energy crystal, their speed was several times faster than before. Chapter 1999. While Yichun was searching for Su Yuhan, the underworld, the spirit realm, and the devil realm had begun their three-way battle. On the spirit vessel. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As the light screen turned on, Sage Lei Yun's image appeared again. Sage Lei Yun, we've entered the underworld and are confronting the devil realm and the underworld. Lord True Spirit personally reported the situation. Haha, very good. The three realms core is the key. We must find it, Sage Lei Yun said. Rest assured, Sage Lei Yun. This time, the elites of the spirit realm are all out. We swear to destroy the devil realm and the underworld. Maintain the dignity of the spirit realm, but be careful, especially before my clone arrives. Don't be reckless. Yes, Sage Lei Yun. As the light screen disappeared, Lord True Spirit revealed a smug expression. Fellow spirit realm combatants, our operation this time is supported by the primordial immortal realm. This is a good opportunity for us to make a contribution. Don't worry, Spirit Master. We swear to make a contribution and win glory for the True Spirit Temple. Ha! I understand your intentions very well. I'm going to launch an operation against the devil realm immediately. Lord True Spirit laughed. In order to deal with the underworld and obtain the three realms core, the devil realm's worries would be resolved. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Before the huge spirit vessel, dozens of small spirit vessels appeared. Each vessel could only carry dozens of people. This was Lord True Spirit's ambush plan. Spirit Soul, it's up to you this time. Yes. Spirit Soul had recovered from his injuries. Now it was the time for excitement. He led the many combatants onto the small vessels and headed toward the demonic vessels. High up in the sky of the underworld, there was a floating peak. The demonic vessels were resting on this floating peak, surrounded by mountains that were easy to defend and difficult to attack. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As the light screen flickered, the Spirit Vessel Assault Team had arrived. Lord Spirit Soul, what should we do? A combatant asked. We'll destroy the surveillance posts around the Devil Realm first. Remember, this operation is very crucial. We must not leave any traces. Yes. Many combatants boarded the small vessels and began to enter stealth mode. They were using the invisibility talismans created by the Lord of True Spirit. These talismans contained immortal spells that could make them invisible for a moment. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Dozens of small boats entered stealth mode and headed toward the surveillance sentry posts around the magic ship. Within a radius of 100 miles around the demonic boat, there were sentries set up everywhere. These people from the devil world were stationed on the surrounding mountains, constantly monitoring the surroundings. Is there a situation? No. The Sovereign Lord has personally descended upon the ship. Who would dare to invade? Ha ha ha. Very good. Very soon, we'll be able to follow the Lord Juggernaut to flatten the netherworld, destroy the spirit realm, and become the overlords of the three realms. Everyone from the spirit world was furious when they heard the conversation between the devil world's powerhouses. What a bunch of idiots. They actually want to destroy the spirit realm. Damn it. That's right. Get rid of this bunch of trash. The people of the spiritual realm were infuriated, and they controlled their small boats to reveal themselves. Kill. Battle cries rang out, and the mountain peak collapsed. On the spirit boat, countless spiritual energy rays rushed over, instantly destroying the entire surveillance sentry post. All sorts of screams rang out. Many of the devil world's experts were caught off guard and were already heavily injured. Ha! The demon world is only at this level? The experts of the spiritual world laughed and shouted. Damn it, it's someone from the spirit world. Kill. Immediately, the chaotic battle alarmed the core members of the devil world on the demonic boat. In the main hall of the demonic boat, a light screen floated in the air, and it was the scene of the battle at the sentry post below. I didn't expect that the people of the spirit world would really dare to attack us. A devil world's powerhouse said angrily. A bunch of people who came to die. Why bother? The devil world sovereign sneered. Lord Sovereign, why don't you let me lead everyone out and kill this bunch of trash? There's no need to rush. I'll let you continue to put on a show. It won't be too late to kill the leader when he appears. Lord Sovereign is wise. Many devil worlds' powerhouses bowed. The battle at the sentry post continued. The people of the devil world were not prepared and hastily fought, resulting in heavy losses. Tens of thousands of devil warriors died under the spiritual energy rays of the spirit boat. Ha! The people of the devil world are really trash. They want to fight against the spirit world? What a joke. The small boat contains the spirit lord's immortal technique. When the spiritual energy rays shoot out, all demons will bow. Hundreds of spirit worlds' powerhouses revealed proud smiles. In their eyes, the people of the devil world were throwing away their helmets and armor. Such a scene was too carefree. Boom! There was a tremor, and the spirit world descended. Why did you suddenly attack? This is what happened. Someone told them what the devil world sentries had said to the spirit world. Be Astra-starred, we're the assault team. Won't this expose our operation? Everyone was shocked. They did not think that much. Retreat immediately. Although Ling Hua was also an impulsive person, he still had a brain. He immediately realized that the situation was not right. This was the base camp of the devil world. They had an absolute advantage in terms of combat power. They did not attack until now. Clearly, they were waiting for an opportunity. Ha ha! Just as Ling Hua was about to lead everyone to retreat, someone laughed wildly in the void. Who is it? Ling Hua roared. One of the devil world's 10 killing generals, Shui Luosha. However, there was a roar. Above the clouds, blood clouds rolled. Demonic energy shot into the sky and descended. Rumble! With a shocking explosion, a peak directly collapsed, turning into a flat mountain with Shui Luosha standing alone on it. Ling Hua frowned and stared at Shui Luosha. It's a Mahayana expert. His heart trembled violently. This person's strength was far beyond his expectations. Clearly, they had fallen into a trap. You idiots, you tricked me. Huh? While everyone was puzzled, tens of thousands of demonic experts jumped out from the countless peaks. They were all elite demonic warriors, and their combat power was far above theirs. Roar! 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 The demonic army roared furiously, shocking the surroundings. For a moment, the assault team was completely surrounded. Ha ha ha! Ling Hua, we already know who you are. How dare you attack the sentry? Damn it! Shui Luosha laughed and shouted. Shui Luosha, you die first. Ling Hua knew that the only thing he could do now was to break out of the encirclement. Otherwise, he would die. Aura manifestation. With a roar, Ling Hua released his natal soul. With a flash of spiritual light, the 7 statues protected him. These statues were constantly releasing the light of flesh and blood. Ling Hua was originally a heretical cultivator. He was later taken in by the Lord of True Spirit and started cultivating the spiritual world. Now that he was in such a dangerous situation, he could only return to his old ways. Oh! Seeing the 7 statues, Shui Luosha revealed a look of interest. I didn't expect a trash like you to be a heretical cultivator. Good, very good. Ha ha ha. Shui Luosha flew out. Next, her body flashed with blood light, and her body expanded rapidly, reaching a height of 100 feet. Huh. Chapter 2000. Seeing the giant like Shui Luosha, Ling Hun's heart shuddered, and he lost control of himself. At that moment, the only thing keeping him going was his survival instincts. Lord Ling Hun, what do we do? Someone asked. Bastard, if it weren't for you bunch of idiots, would this have happened? Ling Hun was enraged, and he sent out a palm strike, instantly killing that person. Everyone was shocked. Before them was Shui Luosha, who was like a ghost. Behind them was Ling Hun, who was killing in a fit of rage. This situation left them in despair. Ling Hun, you coward! Are you trying to overcome your fear by killing your fellow sect members? Ha ha ha! What a bunch of trash! Shui Luosha's voice was like thunder, shocking the hearts of everyone present. Even Ling Hun's ears started bleeding due to her voice. It was an unbearable pain. Shui Luosha, you're courting death. Ling Hun knew that he could only fight. He mobilized the 7 statues, and they charged at Shui Luosha. You think you can deal with me with just this much magic power? However, who was Shui Luosha? She grasped with her hand, and Kacha, one of the statues, exploded in the air. This power! Ling Hun's heart shuddered. This person's power had surpassed the limits of her fleshly body. She was simply a monster. Kacha, Kacha, Kacha. Next, Shuel Luosha crushed all 7 statues. They were simply useless against her. 7 souls return. In such a dire situation, Ling Hun unleashed his secret technique, and the shattered statues were reformed by the bloody light, transforming into a bloody giant. So, Ling Hun stood on the head of the giant, confronting Shuel Luosha. Shuel Luosha, what do you think now? Idiot, you're still going to die. Shuel Luosha flew forward. Every step she took would shatter a mountain. The entire mountain range was flattened by Shuel Luosha. Roar, roar, roar. Seeing that, the many experts of the demon race roared out in support of Shuel Luosha. Ha ha ha. Shuel Luosha laughed as she charged at Ling Hun and the giant. 7 souls bloody radiance, kill. Ling Hun released the 7 souls bloody radiance, and the giant statue opened its mouth. Instantly, countless rays of bloody radiance shot towards Shuel Luosha. Ha ha ha. You want to deal with me, Shuel Luosha? You are truly an idiot. Shuel Luosha stopped moving. Next, a shocking scene unfolded. A large mouth appeared on Shuel Luosha's abdomen. Next, it sucked in. Hoo hoo hoo. All of the bloody light was sucked into the huge mouth by Shuel Luosha. Roar. The huge mouth let out an angry roar and stuck out a huge tongue to lick the blood at the corner of its mouth. Ling Hun was dumbfounded. The other party's strength was far above his. Charge. We're going to carve out a path of blood. This. What? Kill them, or I'll kill you all. Yes. Everyone had no choice but to charge forward with all their might. Ha ha ha. Shuel Luosha's sky-shaking laughter rang out from the sky. Next, Shuel Luosha charged towards the fleet of spirit boats. Chi chi chi. Bloody tentacles kept emerging from Shuel Luosha's body, and the experts from the spirit plane were all caught by the tentacles. Next, they were tossed into the gigantic mouth. Kacha, kacha, kacha. All the cultivators from the spirit plane who were thrown into the mouth could only hear the sounds of their bones and muscles breaking. The sharp teeth of the gigantic mouth were like blades, and they kept cutting the bodies of the cultivators there. Blood flowed out like a flood, and it was a gruesome sight to behold. Finally, Ling Hun could no longer hold on, and he knelt on the ground. Is that all you got? Ling Hun, you are a disgrace to the heretical cultivators. Ha ha ha. Shuel Luosha's body was drenched in bloody light. She looked at Ling Hun, who was kneeling on the ground, and laughed. Ling Hun had failed completely. He no longer had any dignity as a martial artist. He had lost his personality. Die! Shuel Luosha unleashed a fatal blow, wanting to end him. Stop! Suddenly, a command came from the sky. Hearing that, Shuel Luosha immediately stopped. Lord Ruler, are we not going to kill him? This person is useful. Yes. Hurry up and thank the Lord Ruler for sparing his life. Ling Hun abruptly raised his head and saw the massive image of the demon plane ruler appearing in the sky. So. He crawled over on his knees and kowtowed to the demon plane ruler. Take him away. Yes. Shuel Luosha returned to her original form. Then, a demon plane powerhouse came over and took Ling Hun into the demonic boat. Looking at the torn flesh and broken limbs around him, Ling Hun's legs turned to jelly. Relying on the sound of the nether energy crystal, Yi Chun and the other 2 arrived at the underworld, the source of the Emperor of Hell Mountain Range, Ancestor Peak. On the towering sky, peak in the distance, 2 huge words written in black blood emitted a shocking aura that soared into the sky. Ancestor Peak? The patriarch pinched his beard and mumbled. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The nether energy crystal constantly emitted intense vibrations. It was obvious that there was an extremely powerful lord of the underworld's aura here. There must be something in Ancestor Peak. Let's go. All right. The 3 of them fearlessly walked into the mountains. Roar. Suddenly, a dragon's roar came from Ancestor Peak, shaking the surroundings. Yichun focused his eyes and looked into the distance. He saw chaos. There seemed to be some powerful chaotic energy stirring the clouds above Ancestor Peak. However, he did not care about that. He only wanted to find Su Yuhan. It did not matter even if he went to hell. At that moment, a strange beast flew in the clouds. It flapped its wings, and 3 tails appeared behind it. It was the underworld hellbird. Return, return. After Yi-Chun and the other 2 entered the Ancestor Peak, the hellbird spoke. Walking into the Ancestor Peak mountain range, Yi-Chun realized that the surrounding environment was extremely confusing. Even after taking a few steps, the environment seemed to have changed completely. They could not see the road ahead clearly. Fellow Yi, the road we came from has completely disappeared. We've only walked for less than a minute, the patriarch said. It's strange indeed. This might be the Ancestor Peak's self-protection mechanism or some kind of formation. As he spoke, Yi-Chun took out the 8-gate disc. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The disc spun and released divine light. Countless dark lines appeared before everyone's eyes. What are these? Looking at the dark lines embedded in the ley line that seemed to have a life of their own, constantly vibrating back and forth, the patriarch and Wu Shuang were shocked. They had never seen such a thing before. What was it? Yi-Chun looked at the dark lines and looked up at the peak at the same time. His mind raced. He activated the power of the Gate of Judgment and imbued it into his mind space. Instantly, there was a violent reaction. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In his mind, these dark lines continued to extend until they reached the deepest part of Ancestor Peak and then gathered on a strange dark object. This is... Yi-Chun was shocked. The dark object was oval in shape, and it kept beating like a heart. Chapter 2001. Ancestor Peak was the origin of the Netherworld. Everything here was filled with strange colors. What Yi-Chun saw was even more so. The energy that emanated from it made Yi-Chun feel like it was interacting with a pool of darkness in his body. What on earth is this? Yi-Chun stood alone in the darkness, staring at the pulsating black object. Don't go near it. Fellow Yi, what did you find? There's a very strange heart in the deepest part of it. Heart? The patriarch's mind was in chaos. He did not understand what Yi-Chun meant. After all, he could not see the black object. Only Yi-Chun could. All right, we'll stand guard for you. Knowing that Yi-Chun needed to meditate, the patriarch and Wu Shuang stood guard outside, above the Netherworld Temple. What? Yi-Chun has gone to Ancestor Peak? The Snake Queen looked shocked. Yes, Your Excellency. Yi-Chun has followed the guidance of the Nether Crystals to Ancestor Peak. Is the Lord of the Netherworld really at Ancestor Peak? Go to Ancestor Peak immediately. That's the origin of the Netherworld. We can't let Yi-Chun destroy it. Yes. The Netherworld combatants carried out the order. The Snake Queen's expression was solemn. The Arch-Emperor stepped forward. Snake Queen, what's an Ancestor Peak? No need to ask. Go now. This is... The Arch-Emperor frowned slightly. He could sense that the Snake Queen was hiding something. As one of the Upper Nine sovereigns, did he not have the right to know? But now that the Snake Queen was in charge, he could only cooperate. The Snake Queen went alone to the resting place of the Upper Nine sovereigns. The nether energy here was so thick that even people of the Netherworld, unless they were super fighters, would not be able to withstand the pressure and would explode. Only those at the Mayana stage were qualified to enter. Tap, tap, tap. The Snake Queen's footsteps sounded. She walked in the darkness, thinking about how to explain Yi-Chun's journey. Several demon cocoons appeared in front of her. These were the slumbering sovereigns. The Snake Queen stretched out her hand, and a poisonous snake flew toward one of the cocoons. The snake climbed onto the cocoon and began to release information with nether energy. The information seeped into the cocoon, and soon the cocoon reacted. Thump, thump, thump. The demonic cocoon pulsated as if it was connected by blood. Then a dark figure could be seen inside. Snake Queen. A heavy voice rang out and entered the ears of the Snake Queen. Lord Indra, someone has entered Ancestral Peak. Boom. The demon cocoon shook violently. Indra was already enraged. You know very well what's inside Ancestral Peak. How should you punish yourself for letting someone enter? Yes, this subordinate knows his mistake. The Snake Queen knelt on the ground, not daring to raise her head. I'll come out of seclusion immediately. Head to Ancestor Peak and stop that person. Yes. The Snake Queen stood up and quickly disappeared. At the Ancestral Peak, Yi Chun was still trying to comprehend the pulse in the darkness. It was definitely transmitting some kind of message, but it was difficult to understand. Yi Chun unleashed the power of his origin of darkness and began to merge with the darkness. His body gradually dissipated and turned into the origin of darkness, extending towards the depths of the Ancestral Peak. Sure enough, the power of the origin of darkness was homologous to the surrounding power, so it was no longer repelled. Yi Chun disguised himself perfectly and turned himself into the origin of darkness itself. Chi, chi, chi. The source of darkness's body had turned into a mass of dark matter that kept extending forward. The deeper one went, the more clearly one could feel that pulsation. The demon's heart. Suddenly, this name appeared in Yi Chun's mind. It turned out that the dark object was the demon's heart. It contained a large amount of information. Through analyzing the origin of darkness, Yi Chun received many revelations. The demon's heart was the key to opening the underworld, and the underworld was the true origin of the underworld. In this case, the Snake Queen will definitely not let me come here. Looks like I have to hurry. After receiving this information, Yi Chun immediately understood what he should do. Relying on the power of the origin of darkness, Yi Chun successfully came to a cold cave. An altar appeared in front of this cave, and there seemed to be a strange spatial door on the altar. Yi Chun returned to his original appearance, but his body was covered in scales of the origin of darkness. This way, his appearance was still that of an underworld almighty. On the altar, 3 candles suddenly appeared, illuminating the surrounding space. Yi Chun looked at the altar and found that there were countless ancient characters of the underworld on the altar. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chun's eyes flashed with a dark light. His eyes turned into the darkness, and looked at the characters on the altar. Sure enough, in this state, Yi Chun could understand these characters. The characters turned into smoke and drifted into the air, then turned into various information that entered Yi Chun's eyes. Sacrifice to open the demon's gate. The demon's heart, the belief of the underworld, the supreme existence, obtain the demon's heart, control the underworld. All kinds of information flew into Yi Chun's mind. The amount of information was huge. However, Yi Chun was a character whose brain had evolved into a thinking space. To him, this information was a piece of cake. After receiving this information, Yi Chun knew that he must obtain the demon's heart. If Su Yuhan really became the lord of the underworld, he might be able to save her with the demon's heart. Hiss. Yi Chun did not say anything and immediately released his blood to begin the sacrifice. Drip, drip, drip. As the blood dripped onto the altar, various patterns appeared in the surroundings. These patterns were runes. The runes were filled with blood and then flowed into the altar. Hiss, hiss, hiss. As the blood flowed into the altar, a strange painting finally appeared on the altar. It was drawn with Yi Chun's blood. Then, Yi Chun suddenly saw the demon's heart. It floated in front of him. In an instant, waves of powerful psyche power almost made Yi Chun lose consciousness. How dare you? Yi Chun frowned. His eyes shone with the heavenly emperor's light. In an instant, the might of heaven and earth broke the demon's heart's control. However, at the same time, the demon's heart showed signs of rejection, preventing Yi Chun from getting closer. Yi Chun was in a dilemma. If he forcefully took the demon's heart, he might be controlled by the other party. However, if he did not get closer, he would lose a chance to save Su Yuhan. He must not give up. Come on. Yi Chun opened his arms and faced the demon's heart with the posture of sacrifice. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demon's heart emitted a strange light. The strange light instantly entered Yi Chun's eyes. Subsequently, Yi Chun's eyes turned completely black. Then, it turned into a bottomless abyss and finally evolved into a super black hole. It was extremely terrifying. Yi Chun felt that his psyche was about to be destroyed. In fact, he already knew that this was the sacrifice that the demon's heart needed. Chapter 2002. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Yi Chun's entire body was wrapped in dark lightning. especially on his head. Countless darkness factors were eroding his mind. This was how the demon's heart parasitized him. It parasitized Yi Chun and turned him into its puppet. Ha ha ha! I can help you fulfill any wish, Yi Chun. Here, you'll become my most devoted servant. Let's merge into one and rule the world. Let me help you find your own wife and bring you happiness. The demon's heart began to bewitch Yi Chun. It had already occupied Yi Chun's mind and extracted enough information. Finding Su Yuhan was Yi Chun's greatest wish. His will would collapse because of this. This was the demon's heart's reality. Ha ha ha! As the demonic voice continued to disturb his mind, Yi Chun fell into chaos and confusion. Such powerful talent is the best vessel. You'll become the god's chosen son. Yi Chun, this is your greatest honor. Give it up. Let's achieve the god's supreme achievement together. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The darkness factor that devoured consciousness began its final attack. The demon's heart contained the god's gene. This was the god's greatest secret. Yi Chun's roar soared into the sky. The entire ancestor peak shook and rumbled. This supreme power instantly attracted the attention of the three parties. The Snake Queen was extremely nervous. She knew that Yi Chun must have come into contact with the demon's heart and even wanted to find the core of the three realms. These were all treasures that she wanted to protect. On the spirit boat, the true spirit lord looked into the distance and sensed this supreme power. At the same time, the demon lord also sensed it. Both of them looked toward the source of the power. Full speed ahead. Both of them set a destination for the spirit boat and the demonic boat and rushed forward. On the spirit boat and the demonic boat were the elites of the two realms. At the same time, the Snake Queen led many sovereigns to ride the nether beasts toward Ancestor Peak. The three major forces were about to meet again. This time, it was because of Yi Chun. In Ancestor Peak, Yi Chun was still controlled by the demon's heart. However, his martial will was too strong. The demon's heart tried to forcibly erase his memory many times, but failed. Such talent. Too powerful, too powerful. However, after realizing Yi Chun's superb talent, the demon's heart became even more excited. It contained the god's divine consciousness. Secret decree of the god of the underworld, purge. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. An even more powerful darkness force descended to erase Yi Chun's memory completely. This was the only way to make him an absolute blank so that he could be completely controlled. Just when the nether god's divine telekinesis was about to erase Yi Chun's memory, the Heavenly Emperor's projection appeared behind Yi Chun. ZZZ. The Heavenly Emperor's shadow showed Yi Chun's original body. Its supreme might intimidated the evil demon's heart. The devil's heart's heart skipped a beat. He had only thought that Yi Chun was a peerless talent, but he did not expect that Yi Chun still had his original body. This meant that Yi Chun was the reincarnation of a super powerhouse. Heavenly Emperor's light, heavenly realm. The demon's heart transformed into the shadow of the nether god, wanting to resist the light of the Heavenly Emperor. The god of the underworld and the celestial emperor, the two strongest people, were fighting head-on. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Holy lightning and dark lightning entangled and clashed in the void. Boom, boom, boom. The boundless power caused the ancestral peak to completely collapse. Shockwaves swept out for thousands of miles, instantly impacting everyone on the spirit boat and demonic boat. Screams rang out incessantly, blood flowed like a river, and bones piled up like a mountain. Just a single shockwave had such power. Whether it was the true spirit lord or the devil realm ruler, they felt the heaviest psychological shock. If the two rulers were like this, then the so-called combatants were even more so. They fell into boundless chaos, their minds almost collapsing. Oh no! The true spirit lord released his immortal power and forcibly called their consciousness back. On the demonic boat, the devil realm ruler did the same. But there were still many demons who had completely fallen, becoming slaves of the devil's heart or the light of the Heavenly Emperor. Above the ancestral peak, the power of gods and demons filled the sky, shocking the world. This Seeing this scene, the Snake Queen was shocked. She felt that the situation had gone beyond her control. If Yi Chun was devoured by the devil's heart, then the underworld might also fall. The terror of the devil's heart had long been known from the ancient books of the underworld. This was a taboo legend of the underworld. Finally, the three major forces, the underworld Snake Queen, the Spirit Realm Lord, and the Devil Realm Ruler arrived at the ancestral peak at the same time. Yi Chun, give up resisting. I'll let you meet Su Yuhan. The devil's heart felt that it could not be taken by force and was confused again. Where is she? Let her come back to me. Yi Chun roared. He seemed to have gone mad. His mind was suffering unimaginable torture. It was like falling into a Vichy hell, but he could not give up. For Su Yuhan, he had to pull himself together. Under such extremely unfavorable conditions, he had to fight the devil's heart. Ha ha ha, there's no harm in letting you see her. Suddenly, the devil's heart returned to the shadow of the Nether God's brow. It kept spinning and releasing power. The shadow of the Nether God stretched out his hand. A bubble appeared in his hand, and in the bubble was Su Yuhan. Yuhan, Yi Chun's spirit body went berserk. The light of the heavenly emperor behind him was extremely hot, like the sun had descended. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space burned in the air and exploded endlessly. Wu Shuang and the patriarch who were guarding outside were shocked. What's going on? The patriarch looked ahead. The entire ancestral peak had collapsed. Yi Chun and the devil's heart were exposed. What's that? I don't know. Master seems to be controlled by some sort of power. Wu Shuang was the spirit of the Heavenly Emperor Sword, while the Heavenly Emperor Sword was Yi Chun's life immortal weapon. They were spiritually connected. Yi Chun's mind was controlled, and Yi Wu Shuang was affected as well. As Yi Chun's spiritual energy went berserk, Yi Wu Shuang felt his head explode. He was in excruciating pain. Wu Shuang. The Grand Elder quickly released his psionic power, hoping to help Wu Shuang calm down. At that moment, the Nether God's shadow was vast and boundless. The bubble in its hand surrounded Su Yuhan. At the same time, Su Yuhan had already revealed her Netherlord form with the infusion of demonic power. Yuhan. Looking at Su Yuhan, who was in pain as well, Yi Chun felt like his heart was being stabbed. Ha! Yi Chun, hand over your spiritual world right now, and I'll let her go. You deserve to die. Suddenly, Yi Chun's eyes released boundless dark force and boundless murderous intent. He transformed into the uncontrollable Dark Lord form. What? The demon's heart trembled. His eyes flashed as he saw the changes in Yi Chun's body. Under extreme hatred and murderous intent, the origin of darkness and Yi Chun's Heavenly Emperor body merged completely. The Dark Emperor had descended. Chapter 2003. Upon seeing Yi Chun's transformation, the demon's heart continued to stimulate the Nether God's psyche to increase the might of the Nether God's shadow. Suppress. The demon's heart commanded to suppress Yi Chun. Damn it! Yi Chun's eyes glowed with a dark, crimson light. The Dark Emperor's power had surpassed its limits. Yi Chun's foundation had broken through to the Great Rebirth stage. The power of the darkness pool was beyond everyone's imagination. Now, Yi Chun had completely integrated the power of the origin of darkness. Together with his Heavenly Emperor body, he had achieved the Dark Emperor's body. Break! In the face of the demon's heart's powerful attack, Yi Chun abruptly clenched his fist. Suddenly, the void shattered and the energy dissipated. The demon's heart's attack was instantly reduced to nothingness. Impossible! He was the incarnation of the god of the underworld. How could he lose to a brat in front of him? Nether God power. The demon's heart activated its origin energy, wanting to suppress Yi Chun with its advanced energy. Dark Emperor is domineering. Boom! The meridians in Yi Chun's body shook violently like a dragon's roar. The surrounding space resonated at the same time. The domineering finger energy swept across the universe. No one could stop it. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The surrounding space shattered rapidly. Yi Chun flew up and went straight for the shadow of the Nether God. Z. The shadow of the Nether God gathered all his energy in his eyes and shot out a ray of death. Countless death rays rained down on Yi Chun like a meteor shower, but they could not stop the Dark Emperor. Boom, boom, boom. The death ray struck Yi Chun's body, but it was useless. All sorts of damage was blocked by the darkness pool scale armor. It could not even break through this layer of defense. Sovereign Tyrant Strike. Boom! Yi Chun clasped his hands together, and a fist gleam shot into the sky. The Sovereign Strike could destroy everything. Boom, boom, boom. The shadow of the nether deity was completely suppressed, and the demon's heart's vessel was showing signs of collapsing. Not good. The demon's heart emitted countless rays of darkness in an attempt to stop Yi Chun's movements, but it was no longer effective. This was because all of this dark light was absorbed by the origin of darkness and became Yi Chun's own strength. Kill! Yi Chun's eyes were filled with killing intent and rage. He punched out and instantly broke the Nether God shadow. Boom! Kacha, kacha, kacha! The shadow of the Nether God shattered into countless fragments and dissipated. The demon's heart flew toward the depths of the ancestral peak. Don't even think about escaping. Yi Chun's arm extended infinitely. This was the result of the darkness pool's power. Clang! It turned into a sharp claw and grabbed the demon's heart. The demon's heart turned pale with fright, but it was already too late to escape. Roar! Then, behind the dark arch, an incomparably huge mouth appeared. The source of darkness released a black hole suction force, and the demon's heart was completely sucked in. No! With an unwilling cry, the devil's heart was devoured by the source of darkness. After destroying the pool of darkness, Yi Chun turned around and looked at the bubble from before. At that moment, Su Yuhan was affected by the devil's heart. She was transforming into the Lord of the Underworld. Yuhan, Yuhan. Yi Chun returned to his original form and kept calling. However, Su Yuhan did not respond. Her eyes were evolving in the direction of darkness, and the shadow of the Lord of the Underworld appeared behind her. Ha ha! The Netherlord's laughter shook the heavens, displaying a great pressure. It's the Netherlord. The Snake Empress' eyes shone with excitement. She knew that the Netherlord had arrived. So. The Snake Queen flew quickly to support the Netherlord. At that moment, the Spirit Boat and the Magic Boat arrived at the same time. Ha! Snake Queen, what do you want? The Lord of True Soul asked with a laugh. Lord of True Soul. The Snake Queen was furious. The Lord of True Soul and the Underworld could not coexist. If the Lord of True Soul was not eliminated, the Underworld would suffer. Rumble. At that moment, the two magic boats arrived, and the threat of the Devil's Sovereign was also here. Do you want the Nether Lord to return? The Devil's Sovereign smiled coldly. You want to stop the Nether Lord from returning? Of course. If the Nether Lord returns and strengthens the Underworld, how can we destroy the Underworld? Detestable. The Snake Queen's eyes shone with green light, and countless Ongs attacked the Lord of True Soul and the Devil's Sovereign. Child's play. The Lord of True Soul said coldly, and his true spirit sword appeared. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Sword energy shot up into the sky, destroying everything in its path. Countless venomous pythons were slashed to pieces by the sword energy. Don't be impudent. The Archemperor arrived to stop the Lord of True Soul and the Devil's Sovereign. Archemperor, stop them. I'm going to Ancestor Peak. Yes, Emperor. The Archemperor blocked the way, and the Snake Queen escaped. Prepare to die, fools. The Devil's Sovereign growled, unleashing his domineering devil power toward the Archemperor. Ha ha ha, bring it on. After all, the Archemperor was one of the best of the 9 High Emperors, and there was no way he was going to just sit around and wait to be captured. As long as he could perform some meritorious service, then when the 3 heavens arrived, the tide of battle would turn. Die. After all, they were in the Underworld, which was their home turf. The Devil's Sovereign and the Lord of True Soul exchanged a glance, and both knew exactly what the other was thinking. Only by destroying the Underworld would they have a chance to resolve their enmity. True Spirit Sword slash. The Lord of True Soul unleashed his True Spirit Sword, which he sent toward the Archemperor. Archemperor, Heavenly Empyrean. The Arch-Emperor's eyes shone with sinister light, and he was surrounded by primal chaos energy. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The true spirit sword unleashed countless streams of sword energy, but the primal chaos energy completely blocked them. This, the Lord of True Soul exclaimed. Never could he have imagined that the Arch-Emperor's defenses would be so strong. Let me. The Devil's Sovereign roared, waving his claws and unleashing devil power. Countless streams of corrosive devil power shot toward the Arch-Emperor, and as soon as they made contact with the primal chaos energy, they fused with the Arch-Emperor. How is this possible? The Arch-Emperor's heart trembled as the devil power seeped into him. The other experts from the underworld looked on in terror. Not even the Arch-Emperor was a match for them, and they were nothing more than cannon fodder. Get them. At the moment, the only thing they could do was try to use numbers to tie down the two kings. Huh? The cowardly expressions on the faces of the experts from the underworld caused the Arch-Emperor to fly into a rage. Damn it! He waved his claws, and in the blink of an eye, dozens of warriors were slain in pools of blood. There are no cowards in the underworld. Yes, sir. Thousands upon thousands of underworld warriors sprang into action to tie down the Lord of True Soul and the Devil's Sovereign. Ha ha! You're not the only ones with armies. The Devil's Sovereign laughed heartily, then sent out a signal, causing countless Devil Legion warriors to charge down from the Devil airships. Roar! 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 Devil power roared. An infernal power erupted as the two sides began to fight fiercely. The Lord of True Soul and the Devil Sovereign looked in the direction of Ancestor Peak, which was the most important location. Let's go. The two of them flew into the air toward Ancestor Peak. As for the Arch-Emperor, he was being corroded by the devil power and couldn't move at all. Back on Ancestor Peak, Yi Chun continued to unleash his own spirit power in the hopes of saving Su Yuhan. Unfortunately for him, her transformation was intensifying. Chapter 2004. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Dark lightning surrounded Su Yuhan. It was released automatically from her body, and it was extremely violent. Yi Chun ignored his own safety and walked forward forcefully, hoping to get closer to Su Yuhan. Don't come over, Su Yuhan shouted. I'm here to help you, Yuhan. You can't help me. Of course, Su Yuhan was excited to see Yi Chun. However, she did not want Yi Chun to be in danger because of her. The power of the underworld lord in his body was already erupting. During this period of time, he had been to too many places that the underworld lord had been to before and was stained with the aura of the underworld lord. This aura was the reason for the current eruption. Her consciousness was dissipating continuously. Being able to see Yi Chun before her consciousness dissipated was already her greatest wish. Now that it had come true, there was nothing to regret. Yi Chun, I'm very happy to see you. I understand your hard work, but it's impossible. Yuhan, don't give up. I now control the origin of darkness and the demon's heart. I have absolute control over the Netherworld energy. Don't give up. I am the reincarnation of the Netherworld Lord. It was destined from the start. Why do you insist on it? You're only saying these things because your consciousness is being controlled. You don't have to say anything else. I won't give up. Yi Chun was certain that he would never be at ease for the rest of his life if he did not save Su Yuhan. This was his last chance. Ha ha ha. Yi Chun, you're really an idiot. The Netherlord's consciousness has been completely infected. The Netherlord, will descend soon. At that moment, Su Yuhan began to speak in her Netherlord form. Lord of the Netherworld, I will make you die without a burial. Intense killing intent shot out of Yi Chun's eyes, while his entire body emitted a dark glow. At this moment, thunder and lightning flashed in the sky, and boundless dark clouds suppressed everything. Boom! Then, a person descended from the sky, shocking everyone present. Ha ha! Invading the Netherworld, annihilated. This person was wearing a pitch-black robe and a two-horned demonic crown on his head. He had sharp teeth and was extraordinarily terrifying. It's Lord Indra. Seeing this person descend, countless people from the Netherworld cheered. It seemed that with Indra's arrival, they had nothing to fear. Oh! At this time, a provocative voice rang out. The demon realm's ruler suddenly appeared. At the same time, Sword Chi soared into the sky. The True Spirit Lord also descended. The Lord of True Spirit, the ruler of the devil world, invading the netherworld at this time is unwise. Indra, one of the three heavens of the netherworld. We finally meet, the sovereign lord of the devil realm said. Why don't you let the other two heavens show up at the same time, and let us see the might of the demon realm? Lord True Spirit said. Indra looked coldly at Lord True Spirit and the devil world ruler, revealing a disdainful smile. Don't all of you realize that you've already fallen into a situation of absolute death in the demon realm? Ha ha ha. Indra, is that all you've got? Do you only know how to talk big? Kill. The Lord of True Spirit's eyes were filled with killing intent as the True Spirit sword slithered forward like a dragon, heading straight for Indra. Destroy. Indra closed his eyes, and the shadow of the dark Vajra appeared behind him. Boom! King Kong glared angrily. With a wave of his hand, the True Spirit sword was caught between King Kong's hands. The True Spirit Lord was greatly alarmed. Without the True Spirit sword, his power would definitely be halved. He flew out and seized the sword. Ha ha! He had fallen for Indra's trick, and the surrounding space had already been locked down by the furious Vajra. Lord True Spirit. As a bystander, the devil world ruler naturally noticed the boundary created by the furious Vajra. He wanted to warn Lord True Spirit, but he didn't have the resolve to do so. After all, he and Lord True Spirit weren't firm allies, but merely partners of mutual benefit. Such a relationship was extremely fragile and could easily be broken by some kind of benefit, resulting in mutual killing. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The Lord of True Spirit flew out and had already entered the boundary of the furious Vajra. Ha ha ha! Indra let out a maniacal laugh, and the furious Vajra behind him spread out its 6 arms. The surrounding space instantly changed. What? The Lord of True Spirit immediately realized that he had fallen into a trap, and he was paying the price for his recklessness. Lord True Spirit, die first. What a joke. You want to kill me with such a boundary? Even though he had fallen into the boundary, the Lord of True Spirit still maintained the domineering aura of the spiritual world ruler. He gradually calmed down and didn't rush to retrieve the True Spirit sword. Instead, he observed the changes in the surroundings, trying to find a flaw in the boundary. At this moment, on the spirit vessel, countless experts were worried for the Lord of True Spirit. Once the Lord of True Spirit was killed, they would all die here. Use the spirit vessel to shoot energy rays. Yes, a person came forward to command. It was one of the Lord of True Spirit's direct disciples, Ling Mo. Under Ling Mo's command, everyone began to gather psionic power through the spirit vessel. Inside the furious Vajra boundary, Indra had the upper hand, and the Lord of True Spirit was in danger. The Devil Realm ruler stood outside and watched. He was waiting for an opportunity. The Lord of True Spirit could not die immediately, but he could not escape unscathed either. This was his greatest benefit. At the same time, the battle between Yi Chun and the shadow of the Lord of True Spirit continued. Between them, it was Su Yuhan. Yuhan, hold on. Yi Chun released countless amounts of underworld energy. He first had to establish some kind of connection with Su Yuhan. Only then would he not hurt her too much when breaking the Lord of True Spirit's curse. Dark Emperor. After establishing the connection, Yi Chun once again unleashed the might of Dark Emperor. After absorbing the darkness pool and the demon's heart, Yi Chun's control of underworld energy had reached an extremely high level, even surpassing many underworld bosses. Seeing Yi Chun's Dark Emperor form again, the Lord of True Spirit knew that he had lost control and was instantly enraged. Damoro, Azura, what are you waiting for? At this moment, the Lord of True Spirit called out. Suddenly, the sky was filled with dark energy and endless terror. Ha ha ha! At this time, the sound of maniacal laughter rang out. 2 majestic shadows appeared in the sky. One of them had skeletal wings spread open. His entire body was like a thin skeleton made of flesh and blood. It could be said that his bones grew out of his flesh. This person was the Azura evolved from the nether beast. The other person's body was round. Countless tentacles were like poisonous pythons, constantly spitting out their tongues. His entire body exploded with endless underworld energy. It was the most violent Damoro. Indra, Azura, Damoro, and the three heavens of the underworld had all arrived. Indra fought the Lord of True Spirit, the Devil Realm ruler, and Azura. Damoro directly fought the Dark Emperor, Yi Chun, and helped the Lord of True Spirit resurrect. Boom, boom, boom. Damoro waved his tentacles. The space around Yi Chun rapidly collapsed and fell into chaos. Facing Azura and Damoro, the two innate underworld masters, Yi Chun's brows were stern. His anger rose. The might of the Dark Emperor was not concealed at all. You deserve to die. Yi Chun's eyes were like a dark abyss, containing all darkness, death, and hell. Azura and Damoro did not dare to be careless. They unleashed their might at the same time. Earth no longer exists. Azura stretched out his skeletal hand and lightly grabbed. Suddenly, the ground under Yi Chun's feet cracked open into a bottomless abyss. It was like the opening of hell. Chapter 2005. The earth-shattering power shocked everyone present. Yi Chun felt that the cracks in the ground were not only the collapse of the ground, but also a powerful suction force that pulled his body down involuntarily. This was the most dangerous part of this ability. Rumble. As the boulders continued to fall, Yi Chun's figure gradually fell into darkness. Ha ha ha! Azura laughed, as if he had already taken care of Yi Chun. At this moment, a bird's cry soared into the sky from the ground. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A gust of wind blew and a person flew up. Under Yi Chun's feet, the golden-winged condor spread its wings and soared into the sky. What? While Azura was still in shock, the golden-winged condor had already flown up with Yi Chun. Xiao Jin, thank you so much. Yi Chun's divine consciousness moved, and Xiao Jin entered the ancient god space. Ninth Heaven Lightning Strike. The first attack of the Ascension Abyss triggered the heavenly tribulation lightning and shook the void as it went straight for Azura. Ha ha ha! Azura laughed maniacally and waved his claws. Dried bones piled up into a mountain before Yi Chun. Rumble, sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The power of lightning quickly penetrated the dried bone mountain. Following that, the bone mountain instantly exploded and countless dried bones scattered on the ground. Such a shocking battle scene caused countless demons and people from the spiritual realm to reveal expressions of fear. The current situation had exceeded their expectations. Even Lord True Spirit and the Devil Realm ruler could not compare to Yi Chun and the Underworld supercombatants. The Underworld three heavens were all supercombatants. This situation was out of control. Lord True Spirit and the Devil Realm ruler looked at each other and both locked onto Indra. They wanted to work together to kill Indra first and then find an opportunity. Ha ha! But hearing Indra's loud laughter, he naturally knew what the two of them were thinking. Kill! Lord True Spirit's powerful killing move attracted Indra's attention. At the same time, the Devil Realm ruler released a huge amount of demonic energy to help Lord True Spirit retrieve the True Spirit Sword. To fight against Indra, this was a necessary choice. A bunch of trash like you dares to try and deal with me? Indra responded to the two's attack. Indra Vajra palm imprint. All of a sudden, the image of the Buddha, Realm's Vajra protector, appeared behind Indra. A palm smashdown. It was as if Mount Tai was crushing down with supreme might, unshakable. Boom! The giant hand blotted out the sky and instantly enveloped Lord True Spirit and the demon world's sovereign. The two of them were shocked at the same time. The True Spirit Lord knew that he was in danger. If he didn't act quickly, his life would be in danger. True Spirit Wondrous Art, Dense Thunder Clouds. Using the technique imparted by spiritual master Lei Yun, the Lord of True Spirit's body was covered in lightning, making him look like a thunder god. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Under the cover of the lightning clouds, the Lord of True Spirit went straight for the True Spirit Sword. demon sea waves. At the same time, the devil world sovereign coordinated with the Lord of True Spirit. A sea of devil essence appeared behind him, and boundless waves surged out like the breath of a venomous python or the breath of a fiery dragon. Boom! The Vajra palm imprint and the demonic wave collided, neutralizing each other. Instantly, a powerful shock wave spread out, destroying everything in its path. Countless demons and people from the spiritual world were caught in the shockwave. This shockwave was filled with spiritual energy, devil energy, and dark energy. Such a complex shockwave was something that even a perfected body integration realm expert couldn't resist. Those who bore the brunt of the shockwave exploded on the spot. Blood flowed on the demonic boats and spirit boats, plunging everyone into terror. Whoosh! The Lord of True Spirit used an instant to retrieve the True Spirit Sword. Array, order, wondrous art. Lightning sword judgment. The moment he got the True Spirit Sword, the Lord of True Spirit infused his energy into the sword and slashed. Behind the Lord of True Spirit, a majestic shadow of perfected master lay and appeared. At this moment, it was as if the perfected master had descended to the world to judge everyone. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The sword chi was accompanied by powerful lightning as it attacked Indra. Facing such a powerful attack, Indra didn't dare to be careless. His body was covered in the Vajra protection light, and his eyes were filled with fury. Indra's spiral palm imprint. Suddenly, another 2 arms appeared behind Indra. Above the palms, 2 giant spiral handprints appeared at the same time. Boom! Heaven and earth shook, and the sun and moon dimmed. Indra activated the chaotic sky image and merged it with the Vajra palm imprint, clashing with the power of the True Spirit Sword. This attack was even more powerful than before. With such power, the people of the spiritual world and the demon world felt threatened at the same time. Spirit boat defense. Demonic boat defense. Both sides activated the ship's defense function at the same time. The overlords on the ships released their power and focused it on the core of the ship. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the power gathered, the spirit boat and demonic boat released energy shields at the same time to resist the attack. Boom! At this moment, the True Spirit Sword slashed at the spiral palm imprint. The power exploded, shocking the Lord of True Spirit and Indra. But the Lord of True Spirit was using the Thundercloud secret art, which consumed a lot of energy. His foundation was severely affected. Ha ha ha! Lord of True Spirit, can you withstand such an amazing technique? You talk too much. The Lord of True Spirit was enraged by the mockery. The True Spirit Sword shot out a few beams of sword chi and attacked Indra. Clang, clang, clang. However, the Vajra behind him casually waved its arm, and the sword chi was instantly restricted and dissipated. Seeing this scene, the Devil World ruler began to think of a way to escape. With the Lord of the True Spirit injured, it was impossible for him to fight against Indra alone. If not for the powerhouses from the upper realm, this expedition would have failed. The Devil World ruler flew back to the demonic boat and used his power to protect it. Once the worst happened, the demonic boat was his only way out. Lord of True Spirit. Seeing the Devil World ruler return to the demonic boat, everyone on the spirit boat exchanged positions with the Lord of True Spirit. Although the Lord of True Spirit wanted to kill Indra to avenge himself, this was not the right time. Whoosh! He flew back to the spirit boat. Ha ha ha! Seeing the Devil World ruler and the Lord of True Spirit flying back to their aircraft, Indra laughed maniacally. Finally, he had the upper hand. At this moment, Yichen was facing Azura and Domo alone. The battle had reached its climax. Azura, no more. Azura flew up, his skeletal wings covering the sky. It was the end of the world. The darkest blood flowed in his body. His eyes emitted a dark light, and his claws stirred the dark energy, trying to devour Yichen again. Yichen shouted coldly. Although Azura was powerful, he had forgotten that Yichen already had the Dark Emperor's body. How could darkness be effective against him? Dark Emperor's overbearing, chaotic extremity. Rumble. Behind Yi Chun, a boundless dark vortex appeared. It was the Dark Emperor's black hole. Chapter 2006. Yi Chun used the Dark Emperor's power to create a black hole. Azura's power was rapidly absorbed by the black hole, rendering it useless. Azura turned pale with fright. The person in front of him had already surpassed his imagination. Domo bellowed in rage when he saw this. Countless arms stretched out toward Yi Chun. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. These tentacles constantly spewed out black mist, trying to disrupt Yi Chun's vision. However, Yi Chun did not move at all. He stood alone in the void like an emperor. No one could hide his majesty. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Behind the Dark Emperor, the black hole vortex grew stronger. The origin of darkness, the demon's heart, each had absolute power. At this moment, all of them had merged with the Dark Emperor's body. Yi Chun had become the true ruler of the underworld. With a cold shout, the endless underworld energy in the surroundings automatically gathered toward the black hole Yi Chun had released. Seeing Yi Chun absorbing the surrounding underworld energy at a speed that surpassed the underworld's 3 heavens, countless people of the underworld fell into confusion. Who was the innate underworld expert? Back off! With a back off, the endless power he had absorbed earlier instantly rebounded. Rumble! The black hole spewed out endless destructive power, sweeping through the wilderness and shaking the world. Domo had wanted to use his hands to restrain Yi Chun, but he was too naive. All his hands were destroyed by the power of the backlash, dissipating into dust. Boom, boom, boom. The power continued to advance. Azura and Domo were in danger at the same time. The two joined forces and released the underworld energy to protect themselves from being destroyed. Under this destructive power, hundreds of thousands of underworld warriors vanished into thin air, not leaving a single trace behind. This kind of power shocked everyone at the scene. Indra, Azura, Domo, and the 3 heavens flew into the void and faced the unshakable enemy together. This person is too abnormal. With such power, I'm afraid only the Lord can fight him. Execute the Lord's return plan immediately. But this goes against the Snake Queen. We don't have time to care about this now. Use Su Yuhan's body to bring the Lord back. All right. After 3 days of discussion, the 3 of them released the formation at the same time. ZZZ. The 3 innate lords of the underworld formed 3 dark light balls and locked onto Su Yuhan. Subsequently, the power of darkness enveloped Su Yuhan, and the surrounding space fell into the Nether Lord's Khanate Great Demon Formation. Yuhan. Yi Chun was enraged. Such behavior was a violation of the agreement he had made with the Snake Queen. Upon seeing this scene, the Snake Empress frowned slightly. However, the situation in front of her was no longer something she could control. This was because the underworld's 3 heaven status was far above hers. Snake Queen, aren't you going to stall Yi Chun? Indra bellowed. Yes. The Snake Queen obeyed and came before Yi Chun. Yi Chun, I'm sorry. Faced with the current situation, the Snake Empress still felt that she had violated the previous alliance agreement. Nonsense. Yi Chun's heart was burning with rage. How could he be in the mood to listen to her apology? His murderous aura filled the sky. Kill! With a wave of his hand, the power of the Dark Lord burst forth and rushed toward the snake. This was the first time the Snake Empress had experienced this supreme might at such a close distance. Her heart trembled, and her mind was shaken. Sky-devouring venomous python. As the Snake Queen waved her sleeves, the sky's serpent venomous python appeared behind her and spat wildly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Countless poisonous mist attacked Yi Chun, but the ancient god body was immune to poison, and the Dark Lord's body was even more unshakable. Even if the poisonous mist could corrode everything, it could not stop Yi Chun. Dong, dong, dong. With every step Yi Chun took, the earth shook and the void trembled. He transformed into a 100-meter-tall giant, a god and a demon. Rumble. The Dark Lord's power instantly broke through the sky serpent venomous python's various breaths. The Snake Queen's internal energy stagnated and blood splattered. "You're so powerful," the Snake Queen said while holding her chest. "Get out of my way if you don't want to die." Yi Chun said angrily, "If I wasn't the Underworld Snake Queen, I'd willingly follow you. But fate makes fools of me." "Then die." Yi Chun was infuriated. Nobody could stop him. At this moment, the Underworld's three heavens were releasing high-level Dark Lord's consciousness. "Ah!" Su Yuhan screamed in pain. Yi Chun felt as if a knife was being twisted in his heart. "Ah!" The Dark Lord's roar pierced through the sky and earth. Boom, boom, boom. The Snake Queen's body exploded and blood flowed. "Ah!" Looking at the demon-like figure before her, the Snake Queen's heart was filled with mixed feelings, but she could not retreat. Blood sacrifice of the heavenly snake. The Snake Queen's blood flew, and she transformed into a 1,000-meter-tall heavenly snake, coiling around Yi Chun and the Dark Lord's body. The *M in it. Yi Chun roared, and the void dark energy appeared behind him. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The powerful suction made the Snake Queen lose control of her body. Even though she was 1,000 meters tall, it had no effect at all. In the end, she could only force herself to move toward the black hole. "Yi Chun, I'm sorry." The Snake Queen apologized again before her life ended. Yi Chun's eyes were cold, but his heart was pounding. Dong, dong, dong. The Dark Lord's body moved forward valiantly, and it was not far from the three heavens. Seeing that it was about to affect the three heavens, the Underworld's sovereign arrived. Yi Chun Dai. The leader was the Calamity Emperor of the 9 sovereigns. Great Sun Disaster. The Calamity Emperor released the supreme dark fire and triggered the Great Sun Disaster. In an instant, the entire space before Yi Chun was engulfed in dark sun fire. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The flames burned, and heaven and earth shook, wrapping around Yi Chun, trying to refine him completely. Scram! Yi Chun's eyes emitted a cold, demonic light. At this moment, the Dark Lord's body became powerful again, and the black hole triggered the absolute territory. The surrounding temperature dropped instantly, and the space froze. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Soon, the Great Sun Disaster dissipated. The Great Sun Disaster that could refine someone at full fusion was like child's play to Yi Chun. This is too scary. The Calamity Emperor had been fierce before, but now that he had personally experienced Yi Chun's terror, he trembled and automatically retreated. Even the 9 sovereigns are no match for Yi Chun. This brat is so powerful. The Demon World ruler and Lord True Spirit were both shocked, and their faces were solemn. Today's situation showed that they could no longer pose any threat to Yi Chun. The demonic boat and spirit boat retreated at the same time, not wanting to be affected by Yi Chun's Dark Lord's power. All sovereigns, stop Yi Chun at all costs. Indra issued the absolute command again. Although many sovereigns were frightened, the Underworld command could not be disobeyed. They had no choice. Kill. In an instant, the 6 sovereigns faced Yi Chun at the same time. The 6 sovereigns released their great divinity, trying to use the foundation of the 6 sovereigns to suppress Yi Chun and buy time. Die. Chapter 2007. Facing the power of the 6 emperors of the Underworld, the Dark Lord, Yi Chun, kept forming all kinds of complicated hand seals. Then, he raised his 6 arms to the sky. Boom, boom, boom. Countless palm prints were bombarded into the sky. Dark energy shrouded the world. Darkness pool, activate. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The palm prints produced black lightning and connected with each other. The darkness formation was activated. The 6 underworld seals caused the world to tremble. The 6 emperors of the underworld were trapped in the formation. Block him for me, Indra ordered loudly. Yes. The 6 emperors were determined and targeted Yi Chun. 6 emperors of the underworld seals. Facing the Dark Lord, the 6 did not hesitate and worked together. Their strong foundation was concentrated on the Disaster King. Ha ha ha. The Disaster King received the power of the 6. His underworld energy soared and his laughter shook the world. Yi Chun Dai, activating the 6 emperors of the underworld seals, The Disaster King summoned the great sun, Disaster again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. This time, 6 black suns appeared in the sky and surrounded Yi Chun. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Each sun shot out a death ray, trying to crush Yi Chun. But the Dark Thearch roared angrily and actually walked towards death. Dong, dong, dong. With every step, the world shook and the sun and moon lost their light. At the same time, the power of the Darkness Pool's 6 palm prince supported the Dark Lord. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The death ray descended and went straight for Yi Chun. Ha! Yi Chun, how dare you ignore our ultimate attack? Of course you'll die. This kid is crazy. He faced the death ray directly. He's a fool. We completed our mission perfectly. This time, the Lord of the Underworld has returned. We've done a great service. The 6 emperors laughed at the same time. They did not expect Yi Chun to be so arrogant. Before their laughter could fade away, their faces stiffened and froze. This. As they watched in shock, the Dark Thearch strode forward. The death ray struck the Dark Thearch's body, but it disappeared without a trace. What happened? The 6 emperors asked in shock. Your 6 emperors of the underworld are a joke before the Darkness Pool. Yi Chun's body exploded with the power of the Darkness Pool and devoured the death ray. I'll return it to you. Following that, Dark Thearch's reverse scales glowed, and all the death rays returned. The 6 underworld emperors almost fainted. This was the Cataclysm death ray. Even the 6 of them might not be able to withstand it, not to mention that they had already lost the opportunity to work together. ZZZ. The 6 underworld emperors had no choice but to resist the backlash of the death rays. The first to bear the brunt was naturally the Disaster Emperor. The death ray hit him, and his protective energy shield shattered in the air. He fell into despair. No. With an unwilling cry, the Disaster Emperor's entire body was scorched black. Then his body directly disintegrated, turning into dust. The other 5 emperors were stunned. At this moment, the rays shot out at the same time. Dodge! Fortunately, the Disaster Emperor bought some space for them to dodge, and they all used their movement techniques to dodge. However, not everyone was so lucky. In the end, there were still 3 monarchs who were affected and heavily injured. You lowly ants die. The Dark Thearch's deadly voice rang out, and the 5 sovereigns were all stunned. What should we do? Indra's orders cannot be defied, but we can't fight the Dark Emperor at all. This person has reached the heavens. Orders cannot be defied. Go. At the moment of life and death, there were still monarchs who carried out Indra's orders and flew toward Yi Chun. Die. The Dark Emperor's judgment caused the 6 palm prince in the air to emit death rays at the same time. The dark energy swept out and crushed that underworld emperor in the air. The underworld emperor died, his body falling heavily to the ground. The remaining 4 monarchs did not dare to move anymore. The person before them was not on the same level as them. Stop him. Indra ordered again, unable to restrain his anger. The 4 monarchs trembled. They were already hesitating, not daring to move. Get lost. Yi Chun waved his hand, and the 4 monarchs were sent flying at the same time. Dong, dong, dong. The Dark Emperor walked toward the 3 heavens formation. Damn it. Indra attacked angrily. Waves of underworld energy attacked Yi Chun from behind. Break. Yi Chun waved his hand, and the underworld energy broke through instantly. Yuhan. With a shout, Yi Chun threw the Heavenly Emperor's sword and the true immortal flying dagger at the 3 heavens. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The immortal slaying flying dagger spun rapidly to take his life. The Heavenly Emperor's sword shot into the sky and broke through the formation. Heavenly Emperor order. Earth sword reverse slash. The Heavenly Emperor's sword was driven by Yi Chun's divine consciousness and slashed. Rumble. The world shook and the universe shattered. The sword gleam pointed at the 3 heavens formation. At the critical moment, Indra attacked again. Indra, glaring Vajra palm. Rumble. The palm print shook the Heavenly Emperor sword head on. The sword gleam shattered, and the palm print dissipated. However, this was the critical moment for the Lord of the Underworld's return. Indra's attack against Yi Chun would definitely cause the Three Heavens formation to run out of energy. Ah! Su Yuhan screamed. Seeing Yi Chun in front of her, her consciousness naturally refused to dissipate. She forcefully fought against the Three Heavens formation. As a result, cracks appeared in the Three Heavens formation from the inside and outside. Ah! Indra, Azura, and Doma were shocked at the same time. If the Lord of the Underworld failed to return, they would definitely be at a great disadvantage. Roar! At this moment, there was a sudden violent roar. Above the void, a giant python emerged from the dark clouds. What? Impossible! Indra was shocked. He knew who this giant python was at a glance. Snake Queen, how dare you betray us? D*imminent. Domo and Azura shouted at the same time. I'm loyal to the underworld. You guys didn't care about my life, and even made me break my promise. The Dark Emperor spared my life. I'll repay this kindness today. It turned out that after being swallowed by the darkness pool, the Snake Queen thought that she would die. However, she shed a tear before being swallowed, letting Yi Chun know her feelings. Hence, he spared her life. This was the time for her to repay the kindness. Roar! The heavenly snake roared, sweeping the wind and clouds. Instantly, countless venomous pythons charged toward the Three Heavens formation. The Three Heavens Emperor of the Underworld was enraged and wanted to kill the Snake Queen. Your opponent is me. At this moment, the darkness pool appeared behind the Dark Emperor Yi Chun. Everything around him entered the dark barrier. Since you want to die, we'll fulfill your wish. Let's kill this brat together and let the Lord of the Underworld return. All right. The Three Heavens Emperor of the Underworld decided to ignore the formation and focus on Yi Chun at the same time. Fellow Yi, facing three innate Emperor of the Underworld Emperor at the same time, all of them were itinerant immortals. Such a battle would be extremely unbalanced in the eyes of ordinary people. Don't come over, Yi Chun shouted coldly. The Patriarch and Wu Shuang retreated. Indra Vajrapalm, Azura blood refining 3 realms. Domo 8 arms annihilation. The 3 innate Emperor of the Underworld used their ultimate abilities at the same time and targeted Yi Chun. Chapter 2008. 3 Heavens Together. Yi Chun will die. This kid's arrogance is ridiculous. The Underworld King's 3 heavens are all itinerant immortals. Even if they spend some energy on the 3 heavens formation, it's not something a mere conjoint body can fight against. The remaining 4 kings of the underworld kept bragging about the 3 heavens, thinking that Yi Chun would die. Roar, roar, roar. At the same time, the underworld army roared, cheering for the underworld king's 3 heavens, waiting for Yi Chun's death. The 3 heavens unleashed such power. Even itinerant immortals would be killed instantly. However, Yi Chun's eyes widened and the reverse scales on his body flashed with a dark light. The darkness pool behind him roared. Dark Lord, darkness pinnacle. Yi Chun's eyes turned into a bottomless abyss. 6 dark arms lifted the huge black hole and shot into the sky. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Dark lightning kept flashing around the black hole. Everything around it was destroyed. The 3 innate stage powers attacked the dark light ball, and both sides were in a stalemate. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space kept shattering. Only the Dark Lord stood between heaven and earth, holding up the darkness pinnacle with 6 arms, fighting against the underworld king's 3 heavens. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Yi Chun's body flashed with destructive lightning. His reverse scales kept falling and blood seeped out. Fighting against 3 itinerant immortals with a conjoint body was unprecedented. The darkness pool was created by heaven and earth, the essence of the underworld. Using the foundation of a conjoint body was suicide in the eyes of ordinary people. Even Yi Chun was under great pressure. All the bones in his body were almost shattered. With a roar, Yi Chun activated the ancient God force. The ancient God force flowed through his meridians. His bones and tendons that could not withstand it before were now indestructible. Clang, clang, clang. The Dark Lord stood up again. With the help of the ancient god, he could break all spells. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The dark lightning flashed even brighter. At this moment, the three innate stage powers were being forcefully absorbed by the darkness pinnacle. What? The three innate stage powers watched as their powers were slowly devoured by the dark light ball. We are three itinerant immortals. You're just a conjoint body. We don't believe this. This is an illusion. It must be an illusion. Who do you think you are? How dare you treat us like this? The Emperor of the Underworld, three heavens, the three most powerful people below the Lord of the Underworld, were roaring at Yichun. They were filled with indignation. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the power of darkness devoured everything, the might of the three heavens completely dissipated. It's like you dare to block my path? This is a lesson. I am the king of the underworld. Why aren't you all kneeling down? What? The power of the Emperor of the Underworld's divine ability had been absorbed by the darkness pole. At this moment, Yichun called himself the king of the underworld and made them kneel. What did this mean? The three of them were enraged at the same time. They were all itinerant immortals, so how could they bow down to a body integration stage human? However, at that moment, a blood-red vertical eye appeared between Yichun's brows. It was like the deepest abyss in hell that could devour any spirit. This is the eye of the demon. The bodies of Indra and the other two trembled incessantly, as if they had seen the supreme ruler. Their legs went soft, and they could barely stand. I am the Dark Emperor, the Lord of the Underworld. Why aren't you all kneeling down? Yichun's voice shook the heavens and the earth. The three heavens finally could not resist the supreme might of the eye of the demon and knelt on the spot. O Lord of the Underworld, we bow down. The Emperor of the Underworld, three heavens knelt before Yichun and willingly bowed down. This scene was earth-shattering and unprecedented. What is this? The true Spirit Lord and the demon world ruler's eyes almost popped out. They could not believe that Yichun could do this. Defy the Lord of the Underworld and look down on the eye of the demon. What are your crimes? Huh? This. The three heavens crawled toward Yichun like ants, kowtowing and admitting their mistakes. We failed to recognize you. Please forgive us, Lord of the Underworld. We're willing to be the Lord of the Underworld. The entire underworld will submit to the Lord of the Underworld. The Lord of the Underworld shall be the Lord of the Underworld. The three heavens did not dare to look up. At this moment, Sky Snake had broken the barrier and rescued Su Yuhan. However, the energy in Su Yuhan's body was extremely unstable. The Lord of the Underworld's consciousness was still eroding her mind. Remove the influence of the three heavens formation immediately. Yes. The three heavens quickly got up and worked together to remove the power of the three heavens formation on Su Yuhan. Although the influence of the formation was removed, the Lord of the Underworld shadow had already appeared on Su Yuhan. Yichun, you want to rely on the demons' eye to seize the authority of the underworld, but it's useless. I'm going to devour Su Yuhan soon and make you regret it for the rest of your life. The Lord of the Underworld's consciousness kept roaring in rage. Emperor of the Underworld, three heavens, how dare you betray me? You deserve to die. Lord of the Underworld, the demon's eye is the highest authority of the underworld. Even you can't defy it. Yes, Lord of the Underworld, we kneel before the demon's eye. It's the truth. You'd better give up on taking Su Yuhan's body. Otherwise, you'll be humiliated by the Lord of the Underworld's wrath. The three heavens only submitted to the Lord of the Underworld and rebuked the Lord of the Underworld. Everyone worshiped the Lord of the Underworld. Yes, in the Underworld army, countless Underworld warriors and experts knelt down, worshiping the Dark Lord Nether King. Get up. Yes. Everyone stood up and stood behind the Netherworld King. The Netherworld had changed masters. All of you deserve to die. She flew into the sky, and a gigantic shadow of the Lord of the Underworld appeared behind her. She waved her slender fingers, and gusts of underworld whirlwinds charged at her. Such might intimidated everyone in the surroundings, and everyone from the netherworld retreated one after another. Don't even think about controlling Yuhan. Yi-chun was furious. The demon's eye between his brows glowed again. Suddenly, the apparition of the god of the underworld appeared, and the power of the underworld realm erupted. Even the Nether Lord was unable to resist the power of the Nether deity, and he instantly lost control. However, Su Yuhan was also in great pain. Her eyes were bleeding. Yuhan, ha ha ha, Yi-chun, I'll kill Su Yuhan and make you regret it for the rest of your life. How dare you? Yi-chun was enraged. The origin of darkness behind him exuded boundless destructive power. It's useless no matter how strong you are. I want to kill her, ha ha ha. Defying the Dark Lord Nether King, you'll die a horrible death. The demon's eye between Yi-chun's brows emitted the light of the god of the underworld, and it enveloped Su Yuhan's body. What are you doing? Suddenly, the Lord of the Underworld screamed as if he was terrified. Die! Yi-chun roared in anger. The light of the god of the underworld forcefully locked onto the Lord's primordial spirit. At the same time, the origin of darkness behind him released a boundless suction force, and the Lord's primordial spirit was forcefully pulled out from Su Yuhan's body. No, the Lord of the Underworld let out a painful roar, but it was useless. He could not resist the power of the origin of darkness and the demon's eye. Die. The Judgment of the Underworld, the Dark Lord Killer. Chapter 2009. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As a bolt of psychic lightning bloomed in the void, the Lord's primordial spirit fell into a desperate situation. No matter how the Lord struggled, he could not escape the judgment of the demon eye. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Psychic energy was destroyed, and the void dissipated. Seeing this, the remaining emperors of the underworld, three heavens bowed their heads. Yuhan, the Lord's psyche was destroyed, and Su Yuhan fell from the sky. Whoosh! Yi-chun flew over and held her delicate body with both hands, landing steadily with her. Yuhan. He called Su Yuhan's name gently, but Su Yuhan had fallen into a coma due to the psychic impact earlier. Wushuang, take care of her. Yes. Yi Wushuang brought Su Yuhan back. Yi-chun stood in the void and faced the true Spirit Lord, the Devil World ruler. Why aren't you getting out of the underworld? Ha ha, Yi-chun, I didn't expect you to make the underworld three heavens submit to you, but you have no right to order me around. The true Spirit Lord said with a cold smile. Yi-chun, hand over the three realms core. Otherwise, you'll die even if the underworld is destroyed. The Devil World ruler's mission this time was the three realms core. As long as he obtained it, he would receive support from the upper realm. The opportunity for the Devil World to rise was right before his eyes. How could he let it go? You pieces of trash! How dare you boast so shamelessly? Yi-chun was furious. He did not expect the Lord's destruction to not make these two greedy wolves realize the danger. Kill! With a furious roar, the origin of darkness released its power again in the void. It shot out two dark pillars of light toward the true Spirit Lord and the Devil World ruler. The *eminent. The two itinerant immortals were also furious. They released their divine weapons at the same time to resist the two pillars of light. Rumble. Under the suppression of the pillars of light, the true Spirit Lord was the first to be pushed back hundreds of meters. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Countless rocks flew from the ground. The true Spirit Lord almost fell to the ground. Such power had exceeded his imagination. The Devil World ruler was not much better. He was directly suppressed by the dark pillars of light from above. His feet sank 3 feet into the ground, but he still could not resist. The two of them looked at each other. The grudges from before had disappeared. Their common enemy was Yi-chun, and their common goal was the core of the three realms. Great Devil World Seal kill. Thunderstorm, Cloud Palm. Both of them released the power they had obtained from the upper realm at the same time, hoping to kill Yi-chun with a single blow. However, they were too naive. Even another lord had failed, so it was impossible for them to succeed. Demon eyes open. Yi-Chen was getting impatient. He opened the demon's eye, and the nether god's shadow appeared again. The might of the god of the underworld shook the void. He reigned supreme in the universe. The eye between his brows released destructive lightning that instantly swept across the entire area. Countless screams rang out. On the demonic boats and spirit boats, there were countless casualties. At the same time, the destructive lightning was more than 10 times stronger than the pillar of darkness from before. The Lord of the True Spirit, the ruler of the demon realm, was unable to withstand it and immediately coughed up blood. Pooh! Their bodies were bent and their legs were trembling. Their meridians were flowing in the opposite direction, and their cultivation was almost crippled. No, that's impossible. Both of them still could not believe the reality before their eyes. They thought that by relying on their combined strength and the upper realm's mystical abilities, they could defeat Yi-Chen. However, Yi-Chen had already controlled the darkness pool and the demon's eye. He had achieved the body of the Dark Lord. How could they defeat him? All hail the Nether Lord! All hail the Nether Lord! Seeing this, countless underworld warriors roared. Yi-Chen's might had shaken the entire place. The Lord of the True Spirit and the demon realm ruler looked at the void. They were waiting for reinforcements from the upper realm. However, the void was empty. There was no sign of reinforcements at all. As such, the two of them fell into despair. Impossible! Where's the primordial immortal world support? Where's the support from the demon realm? The two of them roared at the void. Their cries shook the sky, but they did not see any reinforcements from the two realms. Could it be that we've been tricked? The two of them looked at each other with pained expressions. Puny ants dare to challenge the Dark Lord's might. Death is inevitable. At this moment, Yi-Chen raised a ball of dark nether energy high up. Instantly, the nether energy turned into a vortex and opened the gates of hell. Gates of hell, devour all things. Yi-Chen suddenly tossed out the ball of dark nether energy. The gates of hell hung above the two of them. No. The two of them were instantly locked in place by the gates of hell. They kept floating up into the void. On the demonic boat and the spirit boat, the combatants of the two realms trembled. Their hearts were filled with extreme fear. They never thought that a conjoint body cultivator could really kill immortals. Once upon a time, itinerant immortals were the strongest existences in this realm. They looked up to the heavens, and everyone else had to look up to them. However, at this moment, the Dark Lord, with his conjoint body cultivation base, had killed 2 itinerant immortals with a single move. How mighty, how invincible! The last scream disappeared into the void. The Lord of the True Spirit and the demon realm ruler had disappeared without a trace. They had been swallowed by the gates of hell. Not even their bones remained. All of you, get out of the underworld. Otherwise, you'll be killed without mercy. Yi-Chen shouted at the millions of troops on the spirit boat and demonic boat. Yes, as the Dark Lord commands. Everyone knelt on the ground and worshipped Yi-Chen. Then, they quickly drove the demonic boat away from the underworld. The spirit realm and the demon realm army had left. The underworld returned to peace. Congratulations on your ascension, Dark Lord. We, the 3 heavens, represent the underworld to worship the Dark Lord as the Lord of the underworld. After saying that, the 3 heavens bowed again. No need for formalities. Is there any medicine in the underworld to recover Yuhan's spirit? Yi-Chen asked. In the place where the Lord of the underworld cultivated a long time ago, there's the Lord of the underworld's treasury. There might be, Indra said. Very well, take me there now. Yes. Indra personally brought Yi-Chen to the Lord of the underworld's treasury. At the back of the underworld temple, they walked through a long corridor and entered an underground abyss. There was a mountain gate with the words Lord of the underworld's treasury written in gold. Lord, Dark Lord, this is the place. All right. Yi-Chen walked forward. Indra released his underworld energy and activated the formation. Then, the gate slowly opened. Everyone entered to search for the medicine. Eventually, Indra gave Yi-Chen a blue illusion pill. Lord, Dark Lord, this medicinal pill is used to remove the Lord of the underworld's psyche control. Give it to me. Yichen stretched his arm out and took the medicinal pill. He quickly went to Su Yuhan and got her to consume the medicinal pill. Approximately 2 hours later, Su Yuhan finally opened her eyes. Yuhan. Yichun was thrilled to see his wife finally breaking free from the Lord of the Underworld's control and opening her own eyes. Yichun, Su Yuhan, a strong woman, finally fell into Yi Chen's embrace with tears in her eyes. Chapter 2010. Su Yuhan had officially returned. Yi Chen used the demon eye to examine Su Yuhan's body again. After a comprehensive examination, he confirmed that the Underworld Lord's influence had completely disappeared. The incident with the Underworld Lord was finally over. Congratulations, Lord Underworld King, for winning back your beautiful wife. The three heavens of the Underworld bowed at the same time and said with a smile, "Thank you, everyone." Yichen nodded slightly. Su Yuhan was a little stunned to see that. Yichen, what's going on? How did they? Yuhan, you lost your memory because of the Underworld Lord's mind control. Here's what happened. Yi Chan told Su Yuhan everything that happened. So that's how it is. My husband is indeed a ruler of the world. Yuhan, since you've returned, I hope you can return to Earth to see your children and family. What about you? Upon hearing this question, Yi Chen's brows furrowed slightly. He knew that although he had wiped out the Underworld Lord, the True Spirit Lord, and the Devil Realm Ruler this time, judging from the reactions of the True Spirit Lord and the Devil Realm Ruler before they died, it was obvious that they had contacted their respective upper realms and even reached some kind of agreement. However, the upper realms did not appear. However, the potential threat still existed. Even the upper realm of the Underworld God, could make a comeback at any time. If these threats were not eliminated, his family would not be able to live in peace. You should go back first. I have a lot of things to deal with here. All right, be careful. No problem. Yi Chan sent Su Yuhan through the 3,000 feet of the Underworld. Then, he returned to Earth through the Spirit Realm. 3,000 feet of the Underworld. I didn't expect the 3,000 feet of the Underworld to be completely destroyed. Not a single disciple of the Underworld sect survived. Seeing the miserable state of the Underworld sect, the Patriarch felt sad. Patriarch, don't be sad. It's not difficult to revive the Underworld sect. Thank you, fellow Yi. I know that. The 3,000 feet of the Underworld is the entrance to the Underworld. If other realms want to invade, this is the outpost. I think I should revive the Underworld sect and act as a barrier for the Underworld. That's a good idea, but if you encounter any accidents, you must inform me immediately. Don't be reckless. Haha, of course. I'm someone who wants to recruit 72 concubines. How can I die here? The Patriarch's mind is indeed unpredictable. Yi Chun was speechless. Subsequently, he asked Wu Shuang and a few Mahayana stage powerhouses of the Underworld to stay behind to help the Patriarch rebuild the Underworld sect. Then he brought the Underworld 3 heavens back to the Underworld. He returned to the Netherworld Palace. At this moment, the palace had been changed from the Netherworld Lord Palace to the Netherworld King Palace. Yi Chun ascended the throne while the people below worshipped him. Indra, is there really a core of the 3 realms? Ever since Yi Chun entered the True Spirit Palace, the True Spirit Lord had been searching for the 3 realms core, which led to the subsequent events. Now that the matter had been settled, Yi Chun naturally wanted to figure it out. Reporting to the Underworld King, the core of the 3 realms does exist. It is said that the Underworld Lord hid it in the Ancestral Peak. Although we're the 3 heavens of the Underworld, we are unable to see it directly. Indra said, this item was jointly created by the Lord of the Underworld, the Lord of the True Spirit, and the ruler of the Devil World. It contains the power of the 3 realms, and it is said that the most talented person can fuse the divine abilities of the 3 realms and ascend to the Supreme Realm. Domo Luo added, there's actually such a thing. Yi Chen thought to himself, if he obtained the core of the 3 realms, it would not be a problem to fuse the divine abilities of the 3 realms with the demonic energy, underworld energy, and psionic energy in his body. He might even break through to the Mahayana stage. This was a good deal. All right, Follow me to the ancestral peak to search for the core of the three realms. Yes, the three heavens bowed at the same time. Three itinerant immortals were so obedient to a conjoint body cultivator. It was a miracle. Ancestral Peak had already been reduced to rubble after the previous battle. Today, the Underworld King had descended and the three heavens accompanied him. Looking at the surrounding ruins, Yi Chun waved his hand and a cloud of dark energy swept across the area. The collapsed mountains and buried valleys all reappeared. Rumble. Countless rocks flew out and surged above the void. A path appeared in the center of the mountain range. It was the path that led to the ancestral peak. Yi Chun and the other three walked up and re-entered the ancestral peak. After passing through the demon eye, Yi Chun continued forward and finally entered the secret cave in the deepest part of the ancestral peak. In this secret cave, countless traces of the Underworld King's energy emerged. This was the place where the Underworld King cultivated a long time ago. Walking on this piece of land, Yi Chun scanned the surroundings but did not find anything strange. Strange, there's no energy of the core of the three realms here. Impossible, this is the most mysterious place of the Underworld King. If he wanted to hide, this must be the place. Then where is it? Indra, Azura, and Domo continued to search, but they didn't find anything. All of you stand down. Yes. The three of them retreated. Yi Chun stood in front and opened the demon eye. Buzz, buzz, buzz. When the demon opened its eyes, the underworld deity power was infused into its eyes. Suddenly, the surrounding space changed. Under Yi Chun's eyes, there was another world here. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Suddenly, Yi Chun's figure disappeared. Where's the Lord Underworld King? Why did he suddenly disappear? The three heavens were shocked. No matter how they searched, they could not find the Underworld King's location. At this moment, Yi Chun had entered the secret cave's hidden space. In this space, there was chaos all around, isolated from the world's energy. This was the place where the Underworld King kept his treasures. Looking at the various natural treasures in front of him, which were 100 times more precious than the ones in the Underworld King's treasury, Yi Chun was overjoyed. This old man put so many treasures here. If I devour these cultivation items, breaking through to the Mahayana stage will be too easy. Yi Chun grabbed with his hand. In an instant, all kinds of natural treasures were swept together. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Subsequently, above his head, the darkness pool bloomed with power again, and a giant python stretched out from it. Roar! The sky serpent giant python opened its mouth and swallowed countless treasures. This sky serpent giant python was none other than the Snake Queen. The Snake Queen had been swallowed into the darkness pool and became a part of it. Now, she had become Yi Chun's slave. Master, I didn't expect the Underworld King to leave so many treasures behind. Just in time to nourish your body. Thank you, Master. The sky serpent giant python transformed into the Snake Queen and revealed a charming smile. Go back. Yes. The sky serpent giant python returned to the darkness pool, and Yi Chun continued to search for the three realms core. The demon's eye opened the real world. At the same time, Yi Chun channeled his psionic energy, demonic energy, and the underworld energy. Instantly, the three realms core had nowhere to hide. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Following the reflection of light, Yi Chun finally found the place where the treasures were hidden. The stone platform in front of him collapsed, and a tricolored light ball appeared before him. So this is its form. Then it's mine. Yi Chun stretched out his hand and grabbed the three realms core. Rumble. Suddenly, the earth shook and space shattered. The three realms core erupted with endless power and suppressed Yi Chun. Chapter 2011. Yi Chun could clearly sense that this energy was made up of three attributes. It was dark energy, demonic energy, and psionic energy. It really is the core of the three realms. After confirming the location of the treasure, Yi Chun focused and locked onto the core of the three realms. Kill! He raised his hand and chopped down with a loud bang. Heaven and earth trembled and boulders shattered. The core of the three realms finally appeared. Z. The core of the three realms was above the void, looking down at the people below like a supreme being. Core of the three realms. I've now fused with the powers of the underworld, the demon world, and the spirit world. Why don't you submit? Z. The three realms core ignored Yi Chen's surrender. At the same time, it released a death ray to attack Yi Chen. The three realms core had been forged from the power of the three hegemons, and after absorbing the light of the sun and moon, it had gained sentience. Yi Chen could see a ball of spiritual light brewing inside the core. You want to control my power? Dream on. Ha. It's useless no matter how much you struggle. Yi Chen locked onto the spiritual light in the three realms core. That was where the artifact spirit of the three realms core was. Kill. With another chop, a figure flew out. It was Yi Chen's clone. The incarnation transformed into a stream of light and entered the core of the three realms. Inside the core was a completely different world. At this moment, the artifact spirit sat cross-legged in the air, controlling the three powers to fight against Yi Chen. Suddenly sensing that someone was invading this alternate dimension, he immediately became cautious. Who is it? That's me. Yi Chen appeared and locked onto the artifact spirit in front of him. It was a child in his teens. He looked very silly, but Yi Chen could see the murderous intent in his cold eyes. Core of the three realms, submitting to this emperor is your only choice. What a joke. I've been cultivating here for hundreds of years. Do I have to listen to your orders? Die. Naturally, the core of the three realms would not give in. It activated the alternate dimension energy and attacked Yi Chen forcefully. He really doesn't know what's good for him. Seeing that the three realms core did not have the slightest intention of cooperating, Yi Chen was enraged. His eyes emitted lightning as he attacked the core. Sizzle. The lightning wrapped around the core artifact spirit, trying to force it to submit. With a furious roar, the artifact spirit erupted with three waves of power. It was the power of the three realms. Being entangled by the three realms' power, Yi Chen stopped in his tracks for a moment. The artifact spirit of the three realms core took the opportunity to disappear into the void. Sensing that the artifact spirit had escaped, Yi Chen was extremely displeased. Z. In an instant, he opened the immortal demon eye. Instantly, all kinds of energy in the surrounding space entered his eyes. Still want to escape? Yi Chen looked at the position of the core artifact spirit. Subsequently, he gathered qi condensation in his sword finger and launched it. Whoosh! The sword qi rushed towards the location of the core artifact spirit, causing the artifact spirit to be shocked. He can actually see my position? Impossible. Even though he didn't believe it, he had no other choice. Yi Chen, are you trying to kill me? I want to be the master of the three realms. This is the time for you to show your worth. You really shouldn't have resisted me. What a joke. In my hundreds and thousands of years of cultivation, I have never heard of the existence of someone like you. Don't even think about bewitching me. What a pity, since the artifact spirit didn't want to submit, the only way was to kill the artifact spirit and forcefully take away its core, then cultivate a new artifact spirit. The artifact spirit had sharp senses in this environment and immediately realized Yi Chen's killing intent. You want to kill me? What a joke. Let's try then. The two of them refused to give way and attacked one after another. Ninth Heaven Lightning Strike. Yi Chen triggered the divine thunder of heavenly tribulation. It turned into sharp swords and slashed at the three realms core. The artifact spirit roared, causing the space to change drastically. Rumble. In the surrounding space, countless magical beasts, nether beasts, and spirit beasts appeared and attacked Yi Chen at the same time. Seeing such a spectacular scene, he was even more determined to obtain the three realms core. Now that Yi Chen had merged the strengths of the three sects, the three realms core was the best choice to reconcile these three forces. He absolutely could not let him go. Space-time fury. Faced with the attacks of so many berserk beasts, Yi Chen released space-time fury. Roar. With a roar, The entire world became quiet because those berserk beasts were all sucked into a new space by the roar. Seeing that his first divinity had failed, the artifact spirit was somewhat shaken. After all, he already knew about the shocking story of Yi Chun defeating the underworld three heavens. Space-time tier. The Three Realms core immediately released a super divinity, space-time tear. Clang, clang, clang. The entire space inside the core began to collapse. Yi Chun was also sucked into it, unable to extricate himself. Oomph, you don't know what's good for you. However, hearing Yi Chun's angry shout, the darkness pool turned into countless scales that protected Yi Chun's body. Don't even think about escaping. Yi Chun walked forward with large strides. Even if he encountered a space-time tear, he relied on the power of the darkness pool to move unimpeded. The core artifact spirit turned pale with fright. He did not expect Yi Chun to be so arrogant in a space. Kill. The artifact spirit launched a fatal attack. In an instant, three sword energies flew in the void, locking onto Yi Chun's vital points, wanting to kill him in one hit. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yi Chun closed his eyes slightly and sensed the location of the sword energies. All this information entered his spirit eye. Clang, clang, clang. With a wave of his sword fingers, the dragon chi roared and suppressed the three sword energies. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The three sword energies stopped in Yi Chun's hand. Then Yi Chun flicked his finger slightly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The three sword energies rebounded and attacked the core artifact spirit. The artifact spirit was shocked again. Even in his home field, Yi Chun was still so invincible. In a rage, the artifact spirit activated an even more powerful ability. Three elements in one heavenly wheel. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Above the artifact spirit's head, the heavenly wheel appeared. The three elemental force merged into it and kept spinning as if it had endless power. Following that, many runes appeared on the surrounding ground. These runes were forged by the three energies. Yi Chun found himself trapped in a trapping formation. It was the three elements in one formation. Haha, you want to stop me, Yi Chun, with such a formation? What a joke. Facing the three elements formation, Yi Chun sneered and the 8 gates disc appeared in his hand. Hiss, hiss, hiss. As the disc descended, golden light flickered between heaven and earth like stars shining brightly. The disc spun, and the information of the formation entered the disc. In the blink of an eye, the result appeared before Yi Chun. The core of the formation is here. Go. After finding the core of the formation, Yi Chun pointed with his sword fingers. Immediately, a powerful sword energy went straight for the vital points. Kacha, kacha, kacha. With the impact of the sword energy, the entire formation collapsed. Where do you think you're going? Chapter 2012. Seeing that the artifact spirit was trying to escape in this space, Yi Chun soared into the sky. Ninth Heaven Thunder Hand, destroy. 2 giant hands appeared behind Yi Chun. The hands were entwined with the power of divine lightning. Combined with the destructive power of the darkness pool, they shook violently and shattered the alternate space in front of them. Kacha, kacha, kacha. With the shattering of the alternate space, the artifact spirit finally appeared in the outside world. Yi Chun, how dare you treat me like this? You're asking for death. Stop struggling. Kid, submit to this emperor right now. Die. The artifact spirit was ready for a battle of life and death. He had no intention of surrendering. 3 realms, 3 calamities. The artifact spirit finally released the strongest killing formation of the 3 realms. It was the 3 calamities' heavenly kill. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The artifact spirit spread his arms. Immediately, 3 beams of light bloomed from between his brows, causing the world to shake in boundless darkness. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Rumble. The power of lightning and the sound of thunder filled the sky. It was as if the end of the world had arrived. Even the 3 heavens were greatly shocked by such a shocking scene. Lord Pluto, the 3 calamities' heavenly kill formation is no small matter. Be careful. Seeing such a formation, The three heavens of the underworld looked worried. Huh, it's just a small trick. How can it hurt me? However, Yi Chun sneered. He was not afraid at all. The three heavens admired his boldness. Above the void, the artifact spirit released the three calamities' heavenly kill. Three beams of light condensed above the sky. Waves of heavy pressure made everyone below feel a trace of pain. Their bodies and minds were suppressed at the same time. The power of the three realms evolved into the three calamities' heavenly kill, suppressing everything. Yichun, I'll show you how insignificant you are. The three calamities' heavenly kill is formed by the fundamental power of the three realms. You can't fight it. Is that so? Facing the artifact spirit's provocation, Yichun remained calm and locked onto the three beams of light above the sky. As long as it was a formation, there would be a flaw. The Eight Gates Divine Disc was the nemesis of formations. Eight Gates Divine Disc. Open. Yichun threw out the Eight Gates Divine Disc. Countless divine patterns floated in the air, forming a rune barrier to resist the three realms' light. At the same time, he released a drop of blood onto the disc. Z. After absorbing Yichun's blood, the disc began to spin. Following that, the heavenly Tao's Qi and the sun and moon essences were unleashed. Yichun was like the heavenly Tao's favored child, the sun-moon emperor. He stood alone in the void and was unshakable. Damn it! At the sight of this, the core artifact spirit was enraged. No one dared to act so arrogantly in front of it. It was the symbol of the three realms' power. It should be the one being worshipped by tens of thousands of people, not Yichun. Demonic tribulation, fall. The core artifact spirit finally made its move. It first triggered the demonic tribulation, heavenly annihilation tribulation, to kill Yichun. Boom! The power of darkness in the world turned into a huge palm, the sharp claws of a demonic god as they descended. Oh! Yichun lifted his head slightly and looked at the sky. Then I'll use mystic energy to break you. Demonic inscriptions bloomed all over his body, and the bone wings on his back opened. Yichun had transformed into the devil's son. The evil energy was like the judgment of Yama, and everyone gasped in admiration. Kill! The core artifact spirit activated the killing array, and the demonic tribulation descended from the void. With a roar, Yichun transformed into a 100-foot-tall demonic god. He punched forward with both fists like a flying mountain. The huge impact instantly collided with the demonic tribulation. The three innate masters were shocked at the same time, their eyes filled with disbelief. Above the void, Yichun's fists were like a dark abyss, carrying supreme demonic might. With the support of the ultimate demonic inscriptions, the power of this attack was increased by 100 times. With a loud bang, the demonic tribulation broke. You broke my demonic tribulation? Isn't that a piece of cake? Is it that difficult? Seeing Yichun's casual expression, the core artifact spirit was furious. It was a perfect artifact forged by the three great rulers. How could it lose to a mortal? Come! The core artifact spirit caused the world to shake again. Above the void, the underworld annihilation formation was activated. Hiss. At this moment, the Lord True Spirit's figure appeared in front of Yichun. Yichun, give me back my life. The Lord True Spirit's face was pale and bloodless. He was already a ghost of the underworld, but he still tried to resurrect with the help of the core artifact spirit to fight Yichun. Since you're still lingering, I'll kill you again. Yichun's body changed and transformed into a spiritual body. Suddenly, immortal light shrouded the sky. Although it was a combined body, he had already released the power of an immortal. Burning palm, star-picking hand, dragon-capturing claw, finger of annihilation. Go. At this moment, Yichun was like the 1,000-armed great emperor. Countless palm prints, fist energy, and finger energy all attacked the True Spirit Lord at the same time. Lord True Spirit revealed a look of shock. Before he could react, these sacred arts descended from the sky and smashed him to death. The core artifact spirit's ability was broken again, and it was furious. Spiritual realm annihilation. Underworld annihilation. Unable to bear it anymore, the core artifact spirit released two major annihilations at the same time, hoping to crush Yichun. Oh! Yichun glanced sideways at the core artifact spirit. However, his body was stable and his eyes gleamed. He was still an unshakable existence. Heavenly Emperor's Sword. Demon's Eye. The demon's eye between Yichun's brows opened. Instantly, the gates of hell opened again. At the same time, Yichun held the Heavenly Emperor's Sword like an immortal king descending to the world. Slaying demons was a piece of cake. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The Heavenly Emperor's shadow appeared behind Yichun again. The light of the underworld shone from between Yichun's brows. Supreme immortal power and the might of the underworld shook heaven and earth and shattered the sky. This was an unstoppable, super powerful fusion power. This was the supreme spirit of the three realms. Heavenly Emperor's slash, gates of hell, rumble. The sword gleam cut through heaven and earth, hiding all things in hell. Under the huge impact of the energy, everything that Yichun's sword gleam passed by would be shattered into nothingness. It was like a demon had come to life, the reincarnation of the king of hell. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The core artifact spirit felt its body instantly falling into a boundless world of destruction. All it saw was flames burning everything. No! In most unwilling cry, the core artifact spirit shattered in the air. The triple calamity heavenly formation was destroyed at the same time. Demon's Eye. At this moment, Yichun activated the Demon's Eye again. The strange light of the underworld shrouded the entire formation. All the formation fragments entered Yichun's mind space to be analyzed, integrated, and refined. Congratulations, Pluto, for defeating the artifact spirit and subduing the three realms core. The three innate masters of the underworld stepped forward and bowed at the same time. Since the three realms core is in my hands, I want to be the ruler of the three realms. There will be no more meaningless killings and fights in the three realms. We're in awe. Return to the Pluto Palace. Yes. Everyone crowded around Yichun and flew back to the Pluto Palace to prepare for the plan to unify the three realms. Chapter 2013. After returning to the Underworld Temple, Yichun continued to study the source of the three realms core's power and found the perfect way to fuse the three realms force. These were the foundational cultivation methods of the three realms ruler. After studying them, Yichun had benefited greatly. Meanwhile, the Devil Realm and the Spirit Realm had fallen into chaos due to the defeat of the Devil Realm ruler and the True Spirit Tribe. In the Devil Realm, the ruler is dead. The ruler is dead. The demonic vessel descended, and those who rushed out were all extremely frightened. They were shocked by Yichun's terrifying strength and felt that their future was bleak because of the ruler's death. Rumble. At this moment, a huge figure appeared on the Devil Realm's altar. The Devil Realm has become like this. A loud voice shook the entire area. Countless buildings shattered in the air, and countless mountains shook and shifted. Communication with the upper realm had always been the Devil Realm ruler's business. Few devils had ever seen such a huge demonic figure. Now that the Devil Realm ruler was dead, the Devil Realm ruler had lost the bridge of communication and had to descend personally. What is this? The Devil Realm combatants felt such power. It was even stronger than the Devil Realm ruler. They were scared silly and did not know what they were seeing. You useless trash. You've disgraced the Devil Realm. How could the Devil Realm ruler be defeated? The powerful demonic figure shocked everyone. They all knelt down. Reporting to the upper realm, we followed the ruler to the underworld to seize the three realms core. But things have developed like this. A Devil Realm combatant stepped forward and recounted everything that happened in the underworld. Yichun, the upper realm combatant, frowned slightly. He had heard about this person from the Devil Realm ruler, but he did not expect that this person could kill two rulers from the Spirit Realm and the Devil Realm. Defend the Devil Realm. The Devil Realm ruler will soon send a powerhouse to lead the Devil Realm to rise again. Yes, we will. Many Devil Realm combatants kowtowed and obeyed. In the Spirit Realm, the Spirit vessel landed. The combatants on it were similar to the Devil Realm combatants. They were all terrified. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. At this moment, thunder rumbled and dark clouds covered the sky. Above the clouds, a huge figure appeared. Why are you all so flustered? The descender was from Lei Yun. He had wanted to contact the true Spirit Lord and then personally descend to the underworld to fight for the core of the three realms. But because the primordial immortal empire had a mission at the last minute, he had been delayed. Now that he had descended and could not contact the true Spirit Lord, he felt that something big had happened. Taoist Master Thundercloud, the true Spirit Lord has died in battle. What? Hearing the words of the powerhouse on the spirit boat, Taoist Master Lei Yun was furious. I told him to wait for me to descend upon the netherworld and seize the core of the three realms. Yet he died in battle before I even descended. How hateful! Taoist Master Thundercloud, please calm down. Everyone knelt down one after another, not daring to raise their heads. Those from the higher realms were so majestic, they did not want to become sacrificial lambs under the other party's wrath. The true Spirit Lord was slain by a mere body integration stage cultivator? Your spirit realm has truly disappointed me. Sage Lei Yun, that boy Yichun isn't an ordinary genius. His strength is far beyond our imagination. Even the true Spirit Lord and the Demon Dimension Overlord together aren't a match for him. Still trying to quibble? Taoist Master Lei Yun was already in a fit of anger. Now that someone wanted to compromise and take responsibility, Taoist Master Lei Yun was enraged. Lightning flashed in his palm, and he killed mercilessly. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As a bolt of lightning descended, the great completion stage powerhouse exploded and died on the spot. With a blood-curdling scream, his body was a bloody mess. No one dared to say anything else. That useless true Spirit Lord is indeed useless. All of you, guard the true Spirit Palace and wait for further instructions. Yes. Everyone nodded and then returned to their positions. As for Taoist Master Lei Yun, he flew toward the Ling Emperor Palace. In the Ling Emperor Palace, Taoist Master Lei Yun originally wanted to participate in the true Spirit Lord's big operation, but he did not expect that the other party wanted to take all the credit for himself and did not let him accompany him. This made Taoist Master Lei Yun very displeased. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Suddenly, above the 9 heavens, thunder rumbled and the sound of thunder pierced the ears. Welcome, Venerable One of the Upper Realm. Taoist Master Lei Yun came out and bowed. Above the clouds, Taoist Master Lei Yun descended. Taoist Master Lei Yun, the true Spirit Lord is dead. I order that you temporarily command the Spirit Realm. Thank you for your recognition, Taoist Master Lei Yun. I'll do my best to do everything for you. Ha ha, Taoist Master Lei Yun, you're still the sensible one. Now that Yi Chun has obtained the core of the three realms, he's trying to disrupt the three realms. The primordial immortal world won't stand idly by and wait for further instructions. Yes, the Spirit Sovereign was overjoyed. He didn't expect that the Lord of True Spirit's expedition to the Netherworld would result in his death. Although this was a heavy loss for the Spirit Realm, it was a great harvest for him. O True Spirit Lord, True Spirit Lord, in the end, you died because of your greed. In this way, the day when I regain control of the Spirit Realm is just around the corner. Ha ha. Yi Chen's image appeared in Taoist Master Lei Yun's mind. This young man who dared to challenge him already had the strength to kill the true Spirit Lord. This was no small matter. No matter how strong you are, you have the backing of an upper realm venerable one. Why should I be afraid of you? After sending off Sage Lei Yun respectfully, Taoist Master Lei Yun immediately summoned the many combatants of the Ling Emperor Palace. After gathering, the entire army marched to the True Spirit Hall. The demonic martial world and the primordial immortal world were moving frequently. The arrival of these people from the upper realm had triggered the energy imbalance between the three realms, directly affecting the underworld. Rumble. Feeling the tremors of the earth, Yichen opened his eyes slightly. He had been comprehending the core of the three realms for more than 10 days and 10 nights. During this time, he had gained a lot. From the core of the three realms, he had found the essence of the three realms' martial arts, and even comprehended a set of strategies to fuse the three realms' martial arts. Although it was still very simple and incomplete, he had an idea. To be able to comprehend to such an extent in such a short time, he had already surpassed ordinary geniuses by many times. Before the true Spirit Lord and the Devil Realm Overlord died, they called for the people from the upper realm to descend. It seems that the Spirit Realm and the Devil Realm are just a cover. The real force behind them has yet to reveal itself. This was what Yichen was most worried about now. Therefore, he had to comprehend the essence of the three realms' martial arts as soon as possible to deal with the changes in the future. Pluto, Pluto! At this moment, Indra walked into the hall in a panic. Indra, why are you panicking? Reporting to Lord Pluto, the underworld's Earth suddenly became restless. There must be a large-scale energy fluctuation in the other cultivation levels. Please stabilize the Earth vein, Pluto. All right. The fluctuation of the Earth vein was not a trivial matter. It was very likely to directly affect one's cultivation level. Yichen did not hesitate and immediately stood up to follow Indra. The source of the fluctuation was the ancestral peak, where the underworld dragon vein was located. Returning to the ancestral peak, Yichen's eyes turned cold, and he flew up to the sky. The core of the three realms. He tossed it into the air, and the core of the three realms immediately appeared. Chapter 2014. As the core of the three realms appeared, Yi Chen's eyes narrowed. A third eye appeared between his brows. It was the demon eye. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Yi Chen's left eye, right eye, and the demon eye released different lights. The lights were the symbols of the three realms' energy. The three lights were infused into the core of the three realms. The core was activated. The core was operating, and the world was in awe. It activated the three lights of heaven, the sun, the moon, and the stars. The core exploded with supreme might and infused energy into the ley lines. The rumbling sound of the ley lines disappeared, and the entire underworld stabilized. The Pluto King is a god, Indra exclaimed. Of course. It's impossible to operate the core of the three realms with the help of any almighty from the underworld, spiritual realm, or devil realm because it contains three major forces. To control the core's power, three itinerant immortal cultivators from the three realms are needed. However, the Pluto King can operate the core on his own. Based on this alone, he has surpassed the itinerant immortals of the three realms. Domo added, Ha ha ha. Following the Pluto King is the best choice. I really hope to see the Pluto King unify the three realms. Azura revealed a yearning expression. At that moment, Yichen put away the core of the three realms. The ley lines were stabilized. His mission was completed. Pluto King, I'm afraid the ley lines are unusual. Indra said, I'm afraid the spiritual realm and devil realm are going to make a move. What? The three innate masters were shocked. The upper realm was very mysterious and powerful to them. Although the three realms were very high existences in the eyes of the lower realms like the human realm, they were very weak in the eyes of the people from the upper realm. Any almighty being from the upper realm could control the lives of all living beings in the upper realm. The three innate masters were elders of the underworld. They had seen the glory of the almighty from the underworld before. It was even rumored that the Lord of the Underworld was chosen by the people of the upper realm to rule the underworld on their behalf. The core authority of the upper realm was the demon eye. Are they going to attack the underworld again? The core of the three realms is the focus of their fight. This time, we have to fight them head-on. Don't worry, Pluto King. Since we've pledged allegiance, we'll give our lives for the underworld and the Pluto King. The three innates knelt on the ground at the same time, swearing their loyalty. All of you stand up. In this battle, life and death are hard to predict. Do you really want to follow me? Netherworld Lord, we thank you for not killing us. At the same time, you have the fiend eye, so you're the rightful overlord of the Netherworld. No one is stronger than you. If there really are other forces that want to continue invading the Netherworld, we will fight to the death without retreating. Very good. You should immediately coordinate with the other Underworld Emperors to arrange the defensive fortifications. Be fully prepared. Yes, Lord Nether King. The three Khanate rancors bowed and accepted the order, then went their separate ways. Yichen flew down and returned to Ancestor Peak. He walked to the place where the demon's eye was placed. This was the connection between the underworld and the underworld. Walking into this space, Yichen closed his eyes slightly and immediately sensed the powerful energy of the underworld divine realm. Ha ha ha! Suddenly, the space trembled and laughter rang out. Who is it? Yichen asked coldly. I didn't expect the netherworld to be obtained by a human brat. Unbelievable. What's so inconceivable about it? The world is vast, and only the virtuous can rule. This has been the case since ancient times. Yichen, you're just a human brat. How dare you be so arrogant? You don't know your place. Yichen's eyes turned cold. The energy in his body was activated, and the surrounding space trembled rapidly and exploded. Boom, boom, boom. A burst of energy exploded, and the mountain rocks collapsed. The ground shook. The powerful impact made it impossible for that person to hide. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. With a flash of light, the hidden person appeared. This person had 2 horns on his head, and his eyes were like lightning. His face was black with a hint of red. It was very strange. He was tall and wore a dark green robe. He stood on a rock and faced Yichen. How dare you be so disrespectful to the emissary of the Upper Realm? The Upper Realm emissary? Ha ha ha! Are you from the Underworld Divine Realm? Yes, I am the emissary of the Underworld Divine Realm. Anyabai. Anyabai? So what? Facing this strange person, Yichen maintained his noble posture, showing no fear. Such boldness made Anyabai feel the demeanor of a king. It was not surprising that he could subdue 3 innate masters and unify the underworld. You should know very well that the primordial immortal world and the magic martial world have both made their moves, which caused the underworld's ley lines to shake. Facing the power of 2 people from the upper realm at the same time, even if you control the demon's eye, you can't fight back. I advise you to obediently hand over the demon's eye and become famous. Perhaps you can get help from the underworld divine realm and spare your life. Oh, you want me to spare your life? Hearing this, Yichen's brows emitted a faint cold light. However, this faint light hid an incomparably vast, murderous aura. The surrounding space trembled. The boulder that fell to the ground trembled continuously, letting out rumbling sounds. The entire space seemed to tremble in response to some kind of power. What do you want? Anyabai revealed a wary expression. I want to teach you a lesson. Before the Heavenly Emperor, you can only bow your head. You dare to do this to the emissary of the upper realm? Why not? Yichen opened the demon's eye. An extremely powerful deterrent force made Anyabai almost unable to raise his head. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demon's eye released its power, and the apparition of the Nether God appeared behind Yichen. When Anyabai saw the apparition of the Nether God, his 3 souls instantly fled, and his 6 physical forms disappeared. He trembled with fear and was incomparably terrified. Retract your power. Retract it. Ha ha ha. I didn't think that the emissary of the upper realm would be so afraid of the power of the Nether God. What a joke. Hearing Yichen's maniacal laughter, Anyabai felt that he had lost his dignity this time. The anger in his heart could not be contained. The *M in it. Anyabai attacked angrily. The Nether God's power revolved around his hands, wanting to sneak an attack on Yichen. Rumble. His sharp claws danced, and the Nether God's power poured into the ground. Instantly, waves of power rushed from the ground to Yichen's feet. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The ground cracked. The Nether God's power turned into demonic claws and hooked onto Yichen's feet, wanting to drag him down to hell. Ha ha ha. Just when Anubai thought that he had succeeded, Yi Chun turned his head and glanced at him. Suddenly, Anubai felt that extreme chill again. His back was cold, and his mind was in a mess. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chun opened the demon's eye and waved the apparition of the nether god, pointing at the image of hell. The demonic might shook the universe, and Anubai's divine ability was instantly broken. Seeing that his technique was broken, Anubai was extremely shocked. He never thought that a person from the lower realm could fight against the emissary of the upper realm. I'm a powerful itinerant immortal. How can you defeat me? So what if you're an itinerant immortal? In my eyes, you're just an ant. Huh. The flawless chapters of The Demon Nanny in the City will continue to be updated on the new C-Book Pavilion. There will be no advertisements on the site. Please bookmark and recommend the new C-Book Pavilion. If you like Evil Nanny Dad in the City, please collect. Evil Nanny Dad in the City's new books are updated the fastest in age. Chapter 2015. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demons, I glowed again. The surrounding space fell into the demon's domain. Anubai felt as if his body was no longer his. Even moving became extremely difficult. Is this the power of the nether god? As the emissary of the underworld god, he knew nothing about the power of the underworld god. That was because the underworld god was the most powerful and mysterious existence in the underworld god realm. No one knew exactly how strong he was, and many people couldn't even see him. Anubai was already relatively lucky to be able to become an envoy of the nether god. This time, he came to the underworld to search for the demon's eye. As the nether god had already sensed that there was a problem with the demon's eye, the earth-shattering scene of the underworld below also entered the nether god's vision. Anubai, why aren't you kneeling when you see the nether god? Suddenly, the nether god's shadow appeared behind Yi Chun. Anubai felt an incomparably shocking pressure. Its majesty shook the heavens and earth. Nether god, Lord Nether god. Anubai could not support his body anymore. He knelt in the air and kept kowtowing to the nether god's shadow. Now, Yi Chun, who had the demon's eye, had a portion of the nether god's power. At this moment, he represented the nether god's authority. Even if Anubai was unwilling, he had to kneel and worship the nether god. What are you doing here? Tethys, you talk too much. You're asking for death. Yi Chun was furious. He activated the demon's eye's power. Anubai felt like he was being suppressed by death. His entire body was bent into a ball, incomparably humble. Lord Nether God, I came here on your orders to find clues about the demon's eye and investigate the situation in the underworld. I see. Anubai, get out of the underworld immediately. What are you for? This is my order. Yes, Lord Nether God. Anubai could not resist the Nether God's might. The fear that had already taken root in the depths of his brain made him listen to Yi Chun's orders. He quickly jumped into the black hole and disappeared. Nether God, are you really going to attack the underworld? Yi Chun had anticipated such a scene, but he did not expect it to happen so quickly. Just how many mysteries were there in the underworld god realm and the upper levels of the underworld? This piqued his interest. After all, Yi Chun had experienced too much along the way from Earth. The more it was like this, the more it stimulated his determination to become stronger and search for power. Above the ancient void, the underworld god realm. Lord Abyssal God, Anubai has returned. Let him in. Yes. The door in front of them slowly opened, and Anubai appeared at the entrance, trembling with fear. His entire body was trembling. Lord Nether God, he crawled into the main hall like a soulless barbarian. That kind of sorry state was despicable. Anubai, look at you. How'd things go? This. Anubai raised his head and looked up. On the throne of darkness, there was a mass of darkness as dark as hell staring at him. The two masses of aura turned into two beams of scarlet light, releasing the most bizarre shadow of death. Lord God of the underworld, Yi Chun has already controlled the demon's eye. He's Lord God of the underworld's incarnation. This subordinate was unable to fight against the demon's eye, which led to this. Oh, the scarlet light suddenly widened. Instantly, the demon's eye appeared and attacked Anubai with a rumble. In an instant, Anubai's consciousness entered the void. There was boundless chaos, like a huge cage, imprisoning him forever. Anubai, your failure has angered God. This is your punishment. Enjoy it, ha ha. No, no, Lord God of the underworld. In the midst of a cry of despair, Anubai fell into the void and entered an endless cycle of reincarnation. Yi-chun, the underworld god, closed his eyes slightly. Suddenly, Yi-chen's image appeared in front of him. The demon's eye was indeed on him. At the same time, in the distant land of the underworld, Yi-chen also felt the underworld god's existence. This person was prying into his mind. Stop! With a cold shout, Yi-chun released his heavenly emperor's light and stopped the underworld god from prying into him. Ha ha ha! A burst of laughter came. Following that, a mass of dark energy appeared in the air. At the center of this energy was a pair of scarlet eyes. Yi-chun, you're the underworld god. To be able to recognize a deity with a single glance, it looks like the demon eye on you has given you a lot of hints. God of the underworld is already under my control. Don't even think about taking it. Such arrogance. You want to go against God? God? Ha! Between the heavens and earth, I am the only one. Where did the gods come from? You. The underworld god was furious. He did not expect Yi-chun to be so disrespectful to him with the demon's eye. Don't you know that the demon's eye is God's treasure? How dare you take it for yourself? The fiend eye is an ownerless item that I found on Ancestor Peak. It seems like you want to snatch it from me, right? Damn it. The god of the underworld was enraged, and his eyes shone with red light. Instantly, the space around him trembled, and the surrounding space fell into a strange realm. It was the underworld god plane. Yi-chen's eyes turned slightly cold. He knew that the person before him must not be underestimated. Although it was just a ball of divine consciousness, the power contained in it was enough to kill an itinerant immortal. With a shout, Yi-chen activated the demon eye. Immediately, the light of darkness blossomed at the same time, resisting the nether god realm. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space exploded continuously, the earth shook, and the sky collapsed. It was like the end of the world. Rumble. The god of the underworld spat out a mouthful of dark energy. Like a thunderstorm, it attacked Yi-chun. Darkness pool. Yi-chun activated the power of the darkness pool in his body. Instantly, the void cracked, and the dark vortex, like the most powerful demon that could devour the world, began to devour the dark thunderstorm before him. What? The god of the underworld was shocked. He did not expect that the divine power he used would be directly devoured by his opponent. Underworld God Palm. The dark energy suddenly condensed into a long arm, then formed a huge palm, suppressing Yi-chun. Might of the ancient god. Facing such a shocking power of the underworld god, Yi-chun did not want to be outdone. He activated the ancient god bloodline in his body. Instantly, the ancient god apparition appeared behind him, like a giant that could hold up the sky. He stretched out both arms and immediately resisted the underworld god palm. Rumble. The power of both sides collided in the void. This was a head-on confrontation. Impossible. The god of the underworld was already in a state of confusion. The person before him was only at the fusion stage. How could he resist the underworld god palm? Majestic power filled the world, and the god of the underworld released the death ray again. Ancient god Vajra spell. However, Yi-chen's body glowed with golden light, like an indestructible golden body of Buddha. He sat cross-legged in the void, insufferably arrogant. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The death ray shone down, all hitting the ancient god radiance, and was instantly purified and dissipated. Ha ha ha, Yi-chun not bad. I'll remember you. Chapter 2016. The arrival of the underworld god had shaken the entire underworld. Yi-chun had forced the enemy to retreat. This news quickly spread throughout the underworld. Yi-chen's mighty image was deeply engraved in the hearts of the people. The people of the underworld had no disloyalty. At this moment, the spirit world and the devil world were stirred up again. In the demon world, the wind and clouds surged, and the sun and moon lost their light. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Amidst the rumbling of thunder and flashes of lightning, the gate to the realm of devil and martial arts opened. A huge dark vortex and lightning descended from the sky, ushering in a new era in the demon world. At this moment, within the vortex, a gigantic demonic arc descended from the sky. It was none other than the mighty ones from the demon martial world. Welcome, experts of the demon martial world. Down below, the people of the devil world bowed in greeting. Boom! The demonic ship descended, and many experts descended from it. They were all elites of the demon martial world. They looked at the surroundings of the demon realm with disdain. The devil world is indeed broken. I didn't expect the devil world's ruler to be so useless. Humph, he actually lost to a human, and a piece of trash at the conjoint body realm at that. At the very least, he's the ruler of the devil realm. What kind of loose immortal is this? Forget it, this kind of trash isn't worthy of our discussion. Let's immediately sweep through the demon world and take control of the situation. Yes, the three experts nodded, and everyone respectfully welcomed them into the Hall of Sovereigns. The ruler's main hall had been redesigned and was different from before. The design was done according to the wishes of the experts of the demon martial world. Ha ha, these designs are not bad. After entering the hall, one of the experts said with a smile, "The people of the demon world are quite serious. This time, the martial demon great emperor has sent them to the demon world. It seems that the sacred war has begun. This is a very important mission. We cannot neglect it. Don't worry about this, big brother. We understand the importance of this." The three of them were the elites of the Red Devil tribe of the demon martial world. They were also the three devil sons of the Red Devil tribe, namely Chi Fong, Chi Hu, and Chi Bao. Chi Fong sat on his throne, looking at the numerous devil generals below. Report the current situation. Yes. At that moment, a figure stepped forward. It was none other than one of the 10 great slaughter generals, Shui Luosha. Reporting to Lord Chi Fong, "The situation is like this." Shui Luosha then informed Chi Fong of the current situation in the demon plane. Immediately informed the other slaughter generals of the devil world. Have them all combine. Yes, Lord Chi Fong. Shui Luosha accepted the order and left the hall. Big brother, are we going to kill our way back to the netherworld this time? Red Tiger asked. Don't be rash. The devil world overlord's cultivation base is extraordinary. He's an itinerant immortal, and yet he was defeated by Yi Chun. We have to be careful when we descend to the lower realm. That piece of trash, the sovereign lord of the devil realm. He has the cultivation base of a loose immortal, but there's no way he can unleash his boundless devilish abilities. We are people of the immortal realm. He doesn't have the qualifications to be compared to us. Even so, we still have to wait for the martial demon emperor's orders. Chi Fong was a cautious person. He did not like to advance recklessly. But Chi Hu and Chi Bao were different. They hoped to gain merits as soon as possible and be rewarded by the martial demon great emperor. At the same time, in the spirit realm, Emperor Ling Chun took control of everything and gathered all the major forces in the spiritual world. At the same time, they gathered in Emperor Ling Chen's palace. The upper realm sage Lei Yun ordered us to regroup and preserve the last of the spiritual realm's power. We await the sage's arrival to lead us to avenge this humiliation. As soon as he said that, everyone bowed in greeting. We obey Emperor Ling Huang's orders. It didn't matter if they had followed Sovereign Chen Ling or Lord True Spirit before. Now all of them had submitted to Sovereign Chen Ling. The reason was simple. Sovereign Chen Ling was now Sage Lei Yun's favorite. Going against him was equivalent to not giving Sage Lei Yun face. In the spiritual realm, no one dared to go against Sage Lei Yun. Very well, the day of the sage's descent is near. We must cooperate with the sage and immediately build the Thundercloud Palace with the best materials. I'll leave this matter to you, Ling Hong. We obey Emperor Ling Huang's orders. Ling Hong was a general under Lord True Spirit. Now that he had pledged allegiance to Emperor Ling Huang, the construction of this person was to show Lord true spirit's authority. The construction began. Everyone worked together to build the majestic thundercloud palace with the fastest speed and the best craftsmanship. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Suddenly, one day, thunder roared between heaven and earth as the wind and clouds surged. Above the clouds, a deity descended. This person held the thunder god's whip and stepped on a flying cloud. Golden light bloomed all over his body, illuminating the 9 heavens and the 4 seas. It was Sage Lei Yun. We greet the sage. Seeing such a phenomenon, Emperor Ling Huang led many experts of the spiritual realm out to greet him. Rumble. Deity Lei Yun landed on the ground with earth-shattering noises. Ha ha! I've finally come to the spiritual realm. Sage Lei Yun was also very excited to come to the spiritual realm. After all, in the primordial immortal world above the 9 heavens, his level was not considered high. But here in the spiritual realm, he was a supreme existence. This was the difference. This was also one of the reasons why Sage Lei Yun wanted to come to the spiritual realm so much. At the same time, as long as he made contributions in the spiritual realm, he would also be rewarded by the immortal spirits in the upper realm. This time, he must make contributions in this land so that his trip to the spiritual realm would not be in vain. Emperor Ling, is the spiritual realm stable? Sage, everything in the spiritual realm is stable. I have already unified the power of the entire spiritual realm. We are waiting for the sage to come and lead us to trample the underworld, destroy the demon world, and unify the 3 realms. Unify the 3 realms? I won't hide it from everyone. My main mission in the spiritual realm this time is to seize the core of the 3 realms and unify the 3 realms. It seems that Emperor Ling understands me well. It's all because of the sage's power. I dare not take credit. At this time, Emperor Ling made an inviting gesture and led the sage to the Thundercloud Palace. This was the hall prepared for Sage Lei Yun. Oh, seeing the magnificent hall in front of him, Sage Lei Yun was delighted. Ha ha! Thank you, Emperor Ling Yun. I dare not. Sage Lei Yun, please. All right. Sage Lei Yun was very pleased to receive such treatment. After all, he could not receive such treatment in the primordial immortal world no matter what. Today, the sage of the Thundercloud Palace came to the throne, and everyone sat down according to their seats. The true spirit lord's defeat in the underworld shocked many powerhouses in the primordial immortal world. This time, I was sent to the lower realm to avenge my humiliation. After the true spirit lord, fortunately, Emperor Ling Yun presided over the situation. Now, my main body has descended to officially take over the spiritual realm. Does everyone agree? We will obey the sage's orders. Everyone bowed to show their obedience. Haha, very good. I will now announce the orders of the upper realm. Our main mission is to obtain the core of the 3 realms. This is the key to controlling the 3 realms after unifying them. Emperor Ling Yun, I heard that this treasure is in Yi Chen's hands? That's right. Yi Chen entered the underworld and defeated the true spirit lord, the ruler of the demon realm. First, he obtained the origin of darkness, then the demon's eye. Finally, he obtained the core of the 3 realms. Now, he's arrogant and invincible. If we don't eliminate him quickly, he'll cause a great disaster. Although this child is extraordinarily talented, his foundation is unstable in the underworld. At the same time, I think the underworld god will definitely not watch him grow stronger. Immediately send scouts into the underworld to search for all kinds of information. Yes, Emperor Ling Yun accepted the order and sent the True Spirit Palace's general to the underworld. Chapter 2017. Yi Chen, who was in the netherworld, used the advantage of the ancestral peak to continuously comprehend the power of the 3 realms core. He had been in closed-door cultivation for dozens of days. During this period, Yi Chen had gained a lot. At the same time, he had gained a deeper understanding of the profound rules contained in the 3 realms core. Now that he thought about it, even the 3 people who had created the 3 realms core might not have imagined that this treasure would be so useful in the future. This was the wonder of creation. Once something was created, it would be beyond the imagination of the creator. It was impossible for anyone from a single race to comprehend the core of the three realms like this. Yi Chun, on the other hand, was the combination of the nether, demon, and spirit elements. His unique advantage in comprehending the three realms' force was self-evident. Following a long shout, the three realms' core floated in the air and kept emitting light above Yi Chen's head. 3 waves of origin energy flowed wildly and were infused into Yi Chen's body. 3 elements returned to 1. Vitality is born. Hoo. The 3 energies transformed into celestial qi, allowing Yi Chen's body to rapidly recover. The various injuries caused by the battle had been healed by the 3 realms core. After absorbing the ancestral peak's terra qi and combining it with the origin of darkness and the demon's eye, Yi Chen's nether force was becoming more and more proficient. Report. At this moment, a report came from the outside world. Yi Chen got up and walked out of the ancestral peak, where he found an underworld warrior waiting for him. Reporting to Hades' king, the 3,000 Zhang of the Yellow Springs has sent back news that the primordial immortal empire and the demon martial empire are moving at the same time. They want to take down the Yellow Springs battle mansion. I understand. Pass down the order immediately. The entire army will advance to 3,000 feet of the Yellow Springs. Yes. If he wanted to protect the underworld, being trapped in it was no longer a good choice. Yi Chen's choice was to expand. The first thing he had to control was one of the entrances to the underworld, the 3,000 feet netherworld. As he walked out of the ancestral peak, the huge netherworld arc was already floating in the sky. Whoosh! Yi Chen leaped and landed on the dark boat. Lord Netherworld King, Old Ancestor Yellow Spring, is currently guarding the 3,000 Zhang area. According to the latest news, the Demon Martial World has sent 3 experts into the Demon World, and they have already become the new rulers of the Demon World. They are Qi Feng, Qi Hu, and Qi Bao. These 3 are the devil sons of the Red Devil clan of the Demon Martial World. Indra stepped forward and said, especially this Qi Feng. I've heard of him before. This person is extremely shrewd, and his foundation is even more unfathomable. Azura said, all right, let yours truly have a taste of the powerful beings of the Demon Martial World then. Yi Chen's eyes flashed. With a single glance, he could see 10,000 kilometers. He had already seen the area 10,000 feet below the netherworld. At this moment, the demonic qi was indeed dense within 10,000 feet. Boom! The netherworld boat activated and sped towards the distance of 10,000 zhang. Yellow Spring Battle Mansion, Yellow Spring Sect. Old Ancestor, one of the Demon World's 10 great slaughter generals, Shuel Luosha, has arrived 3 kilometers away from the Yellow Springs. She has brought with her an army of at least 1,000,000 demons. They are extremely arrogant. An expert entered the hall and said to Old Ancestor Yellow Spring, how hateful. He actually dares to provoke us. Let me go out and take a look. Ancestor stood up and followed that person, flying up to the void 3,000 zhang above the Yellow Spring. Ha ha! At that moment, a rumbling sound came from the demonic Arkansas. It was Shuel Luosha. I shall return to the 3,000 feet of the Yellow Springs. This time, I shall see your blood splattered all over the earth. How arrogant! It was none other than Patriarch Yellow Spring. Old Ancestor Yellow Spring, do you want to be my enemy? Who do you think you are? Do you know where this place is? Ever since Fellow Yi unified the Netherworld, this place is still the Netherworld. You people from the Demon World better scram. Old Ancestor Yellow Spring, don't think that you can be arrogant just because you have Yi Chen. In my eyes, Yi Chen is nothing. He's just an ant. What did you say? Enraged, Old Ancestor Yellow Spring struck with his palm. Rumble. The Yellow Spring's palm force swept through the world, accompanied by an elite sword qi hidden within. It was the Yellow Spring sword. Shuel Luosha sensed that someone was coming with ill intentions. Her body shone with a bloody light, forming a huge shield that enveloped her body. Boom, boom, boom. The palm force and sword qi bombarded the bloody light shield, but there was no ripple at all. Ha ha! Shua Luosha became even more arrogant and laughed maniacally. This old ancestor Yellow Spring frowned slightly. This person was a Mahayana stage expert. It would not be easy to deal with him. Hand over the control of the 3,000 feet of Netherworld immediately. Otherwise, I'll make you bleed for 5 steps and then annihilate your Netherworld sect. Boast. Ha ha ha. It'll be the same even if Yi Chun comes. I won't let him leave. Just as Shue Luosha's domineering voice was transmitted, a rumble resounded through the 9 heavens at the same time. Following that, a voice came from the boat. Is that so? Hearing that voice, Shue Luosha's heart trembled. She knew that the voice was definitely Yi Chen's. She did not expect him to come personally. It's you, Yi Chun. Indeed, I've come personally. Shue Luosha, kneel on the ground and kowtow 800 times, and I'll spare your life. Ah, what a joke. A puny conjoint stage cultivator dares to order me around? I'm a Mahayana stage cultivator. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Although she said that she was not afraid, Shue Luosha's body trembled slightly when she recalled that the true Spirit Lord had died in Yi Chen's hands. Since you're not afraid, then show me what you've got, Shue Luosha. Charge! Shue Luosha naturally did not dare to attack recklessly. She ordered the demonic world army to charge. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Instantly, countless demonic warriors roared and charged toward the Netherworld. How dare you? Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. With a wave of his hand, a majestic energy swept across the battlefield. The charging demonic world army was swept away by the wind like dust and buried by the ground. Rumble. With a loud noise, hundreds of thousands of demonic warriors were shaken by Yi Chen's power and fell into the abyss. Such a majestic power shocked Shue Luosha and made her cower. Shue Luosha, show me what you've got now. Didn't you say that you don't care about me at all? Kill. Shue Luosha was enraged. The bloody light around her turned into a huge demonic claw and reached out toward Yi Chun. You dare to show off with such a useless technique? Yi Chun was furious. It was not because Shue Luosha was powerful, but because she had used such a perfunctory ability. It was simply ridiculous. Kacha, kacha, kacha. In just one exchange, Yi Chen's eyes flashed with electricity and instantly broke Shue Luosha's bloody demonic claw. This, Shue Luosha, one of the 10 great demon generals, will be missing today. No, that's impossible. Shue Luosha realized that the difference between her and Yi Chun was like heaven and earth. They were not on the same level at all. She immediately gave the order to retreat. Retreat, retreat. The demonic world army was also intimidated by Yi Chen's power and retreated into the demonic ships. Will he make if we leave now? Chapter 2018. Just as Shue Luosha was about to turn the demonic boat around, the wind and clouds surged in the sky. Darkness power covered 1,000 miles, and the entire demonic boat was instantly trapped in Yi Chen's darkness barrier. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Dark lightning flashed, and the origin of darkness appeared above the 9 heavens. It turned into a pair of dark eyes and peered at the demons. The demons fell into a panic. Many of them had seen the might of the Dark Emperor before. Now that they saw the darkness pool, they panicked. Don't panic, Shue Luosha shouted, trying to calm down and suppress the fear in her heart. Yi Chun, how dare you stop me? Ha ha ha, lowly trap beast. You've entered the death gate and you still want to be arrogant? Yi Chun flew up and controlled the darkness pool. The might of the Dark Emperor appeared again. Let the darkness devour your ambitions. Go. With a wave of his hand, the darkness pool released a powerful dark energy. This energy turned into a barrier and pressed down on the demonic boat. Damn it! Shue Luosha was furious. A blood-red steel fork appeared in her hand, and she threw it into the sky. Rumble. The blood-red steel fork turned into a huge Rakshasa shadow. It waved its arm, trying to take down Yi Chun. Above the sky, Yi Chen's eyes were cold. The darkness pool released a huge arm to fight against the Rakshasa shadow. Rumble. There was a loud bang, and a huge force collided. The sky changed color. The sun and moon changed, the void shattered, and the pulse of shock. The moment the two forces collided, the huge Rakshasa shadow shattered in the sky. It could not fight at all. This was the power of the darkness pool. Roar! The shattered Rakshasa's power wanted to return to Shui Luosha's body. All of this was within Yi Chen's expectations. The darkness pool formed a devouring vortex again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the sky, the devouring vortex turned into a black hole. The power that wanted to return to Shui Luosha's body was completely devoured by the darkness pool and became Yi Chen's power. Seeing this, Shui Luosha was shocked. She had never thought that the power that she had cultivated for a long time would be devoured by the origin of darkness, just like that, without any warning. This feeling was too shocking, too terrifying. She was completely stunned by Yi Chen. No, this can't be true. Ridiculous. The 10 great slaughtering generals of the demon world are only at this level? Yi Chen's body shook as his foundation soared. What this is? Mahayana. You do understand. This. Previously, Yi Chen had relied on his conjoint body foundation to crush her. Now that Yi Chen had displayed his Mahayana cultivation base, Shui Luosha was in complete despair. It was impossible to defeat him. On the demonic arc, all of the demons were also struck by the deepest fear. Yi Chen's cultivation base was no longer below Shui Luosha's. As a result, Shui Luosha was completely defeated in terms of foundation and talent. Lady Shui Luosha, what do we do? Scram! Shui Luosha attacked furiously. Her sharp claws slashed out, and that person's head was instantly sent flying. This was her final act of venting her rage. Shui Luosha, you invaded the nether plane and provoked me. Die! Damn it! Shui Luosha was infuriated, and she unleashed all the power she had in her life to once again form a grand Rakshasa silhouette. Next, blood energy surged into the sky, and the surrounding space fell into a bloody hell. This was Shui Luosha's final gambit. Roar! As the Rakshasa silhouette reappeared, the ground cracked and the void shook. The Rakshasa silhouette waved its sharp claws, stirring up the wind and clouds. Countless amounts of blood turned into a torrent and attacked Yi Chen. Oh! Facing the bloody torrent, Yi Chen smiled slightly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The devouring vortex moved again. The darkness pool covered the sky and completely controlled the entire space. Shui Luosha's bloody hell was no match for it all. It was constantly being destroyed by the devouring vortex. Wave after wave of energy turned into energy and was completely absorbed. Shui Luosha flew up to the sky and merged with the Rakshasa silhouette, turning into an ancient beast that wanted to devour Yi Chen. Yi Chen died. The huge Rakshasa silhouette stretched out its sharp claws, wanting to grab Yi Chen. Lord Pluto, watch out! The underworld powerhouses behind shouted loudly. In the midst of their terror, they saw Shui Luosha's claws had already grabbed Yi Chen. Then, her claws came together. Rumble. After the palms came together, Shui Luosha was overjoyed. Ha ha, Yi Chen, is that all you got? Shui Luosha laughed loudly, thinking that she had successfully killed Yi Chen. Everyone from the underworld was shocked. Could Shui Luosha really have killed the underworld king? However, the patriarch of hell and the 3 heavens of the underworld were very natural. They knew very well what Yi Chen was capable of. It was impossible for Shui Luosha to kill him. Moreover, they had seen the truth of the battle. Rumble. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Just as everyone was shocked, the claws of the Rakshasa silhouette in the void shattered and exploded. Shui Luosha revealed a pained expression. Her entire arms turned into blood-colored fragments that scattered everywhere. You! How dare you show off such insignificant skills in front of me? I've tolerated you for too long. Yi Chen flew up, and the Heavenly Emperor's sword appeared in his hand. Heavenly Emperor's sword, Judgment. The Judgment sword carried the might of a Heavenly Emperor, completely crushing Shui Luosha's last bit of hope. Above the sky, in the clouds of the 9 heavens, an incomparably majestic sword gleam slashed down from the sky. Rumble. No! Seeing her own death, Shui Luosha's eyes widened. She was unwilling, but what was the use? With a shattering sound, the entire Rakshasa silhouette was crushed into pieces. At the same time, Shui Luosha's body exploded and turned into dust. The demonic tribe army was completely stunned at the sight of this. Shui Luosha, one of the 10 great generals of the devil world, could not even withstand a single blow from Yichun. Please be merciful, Dark Emperor. Let us return to the devil world. That's right. We followed Shui Luosha into battle. We didn't really want to invade the underworld. We're all innocent. Please forgive us. Countless demonic tribe warriors knelt on the ground, hoping to be pardoned by Yichun. Oh, Yichun smirked as he faced the demonic tribe's self-saving methods. It's too late for all of you to repent now. Yichun, don't kill us. Ha ha ha. That one sentence triggered the sincerity of these people. Yichun waved the heavenly emperor sword in his hand again. The sword cut through the wind and clouds, and blood-colored light scattered across the 9 provinces. Whoosh! The sword gleam slashed across the huge demonic ship. In an instant, the entire demonic ship split from the center. As the light shone in all directions, an energy explosion was activated at the same time. The demonic tribe army was completely destroyed in the most horrifying despair. They did not even have the chance to make a sound. The judgment sword had already pierced through everything. Destruction was right before their eyes. Annihilation had long been destined. Shui Luosha's army was completely annihilated. All hail the Netherworld King. All hail the Netherworld King. The invading army was destroyed. The underworld army kept chanting Yichun's name with overwhelming might. 3,000 feet back to the Netherworld. Chapter 2019. At the Devil Army headquarters. Master Qi Fong, there's news from the front. Shui Luosha was killed by Yichun due to her carelessness. The entire army was wiped out. That idiot ruined our army's prestige. He deserves to die, Red Tiger said angrily. It's useless to let this guy be the vanguard, Red Leopard said. Looks like we have to hurry up. The Upper Realm gave us a time limit this time. If we can't get the 3 Realms core within 3 days, then we'll all be guilty. Big brother, don't worry about that. We've gone all out this time. Are we afraid that we can't kill Yichun? We can't be careless. Yichun is someone who killed the Devil World's ruler. Ha ha! The Devil World's ruler is nothing. He's just a small character. With the 3 of us attacking together, no one in the Death Town can escape. That's right, big brother. We'll definitely win this time. Although Red Tiger and Red Leopard were full of confidence, Qi Fong had some doubts. He really wanted to see what kind of person Yichun was. The vast demonic ship passed through many obstacles and headed toward the underworld. Yichun sat on the throne and rewarded many cultivators after killing Shui Luosha within 3,000 feet of the Netherworld. Patriarch Hell, you've done well in guarding the Netherworld battle mansion this time. This is your reward. Yichun tossed out a golden pill. This golden pill was refined by him using the 3 Realms core. It contained the 3 Realms energy and was of great help to cultivation. Thank you, fellow Yi. The Patriarch Hell was very excited after putting away the golden pill. He had reached the critical moment of breaking through. Breaking through to the integration stage had become his greatest need. Yichun's golden pill was very suitable for him. Wushuang, this is the essence of the divine weapons I've subdued after defeating many experts. It'll be of great benefit to you. Take it. Thank you, big brother. Yi Wushuang stood up. Yichun pointed forward and a beam of golden light shot out. Within the golden light were waves of divine weapon essences. As Yichun pointed, all of the essence was instilled into Yi Wushuang's body. To Yi Wushuang, this energy was much better than those miraculous pills. After absorbing the divine weapon's essence, Yi Wushuang's sword spirit physique would be even more perfect. He would regain the feeling of a peak immortal weapon. Many of the other combatants received Yichun's rewards one after another. These rewards were targeted at their cultivation methods, martial arts, and obstacles on the path of cultivation. They were all practical goods that were very useful to these combatants. Reporting to the Nether King, A large amount of demonic energy has been discovered within 100 miles of the Yellow Spring. Among them, there are 3 extremely powerful demonic energies. Oh, everyone turned their heads to look at the reporting demon warrior. The Nether King had just killed off Shwe Luo Sha, dampening the morale of the demon army. And now, he dares to invade us again? He really doesn't know what's good for him. Humph! The demonic evildoers are so conceited. This time, let us, the 3 heavens of the Netherworld, meet them. That's right, Lord Nether King, there's no need for you to act. We'll take down these 3 people. Seeing that the underworld 3 heavens were brimming with fighting spirit, Yichen nodded slightly and allowed their request to fight. Thank you, Your Majesty Pluto. The 3 of them stood up at the same time, walked out of the main hall, and set off with their respective troops. On a peak 3,000 feet away from the Yellow Spring, the demonic boat slowly approached the shore. Big brother, we're less than 100 miles away from the Yellow Spring. It's better to send out scouts to observe their movements. That's reasonable. Chi Fong extended his hand and pointed at the sky. Immediately, clouds of demonic energy surged out. These demonic energy transformed into countless firebirds in midair and flew toward the Yellow Spring. Ha ha! With Big Brother's firebirds monitoring, none of them can escape, Red Tiger and Red Leopard said excitedly. Then, everyone drank together. About a moment later, Chi Fong sensed movement in front of them. Everyone, please take a look. Chi Fong's sword finger shone. In a screen of light, the information collected by the firebirds appeared in front of them. Red Tiger and Red Leopard smiled coldly when they saw the images. This time, the 3 heavens of the Netherworld are personally taking action. Us brothers are going to give them a show of strength, Red Leopard said with a cold smile. Big brother, what do you think? Red Tiger asked. This time, the Netherworld is sending out Indra, Azura, and Domo. These 3 are at the top of the 3 heavens of the Netherworld and have some strength. Brothers, don't be careless. Don't worry, Big Brother. We will make sure that the so-called 3 heavens of the Netherworld never return. Red Tiger and Red Leopard cupped their hands and bowed. Then, they left the hall and flew forward with their subordinates. 3,000 feet of the Yellow Spring. Indra flew high in the sky and transformed into a giant eye. It was like a lake above the clouds and emitted a majestic light that shone forward. The demonic boat is 100 miles away. They're making their move. I can sense 2 powerful forces. They're coming. Hearing Indra's words, Azura and Domo led their subordinates and stood in the void, waiting in formation. Rumble. At this moment, above the void, thunder rumbled and thunder rumbled. Ha ha ha! With a burst of wild laughter, a ferocious tiger roared in the forest, shaking the world. This roar shook the surrounding 100 miles. The people of the Netherworld only felt their heads splitting and blood flowing out of their ears. Those with weak foundations exploded on the spot. Activate the protective barrier. In order to preserve the strength of the Netherworld army, Indra shouted. Domo roared. After that, his gigantic body transformed into a tentacle barrier that shook the heavens and the earth. It grew unceasingly, forming countless tentacle mountain ranges. These mountain ranges surrounded the people of the underworld, blocking the effects of the tiger's roar. Boom, boom, boom. However, the tiger roar continued to move, putting great pressure on Domo's body. Domo, are you all right? Azura asked. This bit of injury is nothing to me. You should be very clear about my recovery ability. I'm not worried about this. Azura spread his wings and flew above the 9 heavens, looking at the army of the Netherworld. At this moment, under the leadership of Red Tiger and Red Leopard, the army of the Netherworld came in a mighty and aggressive manner. In the surrounding mountains, countless demonic warriors charged forward and swept in all directions. God knows how many mountains and earth were trampled and exploded by them. Boom, boom, boom. Every step forward would cause dust to fly hundreds of feet into the air. It was terrifying. Ha ha ha. As the red tiger roared, its majestic might shook 1,000 miles and continued to attack Domo's giant body. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Domo's body kept exploding, dripping with blood. Relying on his powerful recovery ability, he protected the first line of defense of the netherworld. Seeing that Domo was struggling, Azura frowned and anger rose in his heart. Who are you? A question echoed 1,000 miles. Ha die. Chapter 2020. Azura of the three skies of the netherworld die. From 100 miles away, a voice transmission came. Thunder shook the sky, and a red tiger's roar split the sky. Oh! Feeling this powerful vibration, the Azura's eyes turned cold. All the power in his body condensed on his bone wings. Both wings opened, and a gale swept out. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. This gale contained the Azura's violent netherworld energy and engulfed everything. The netherworld energy gale shook the tiger's roar. The invisible forces from both sides collided in the void. Instantly, the sky exploded and the wind and clouds moved. Violent thunder dyed the sky and earth. Rumble. Above the rumbling sound, a person descended with great power. Ha ha! Before me, all of you bow your heads. The red tiger's laughter was like thunder that disturbed the mind, shaking everyone's eardrums again. Seeing this, Domo waved his tentacles and activated a flesh barrier to isolate the sound attack again. Damn it! Seeing Domo's action, the red tiger flew out, stretched out his claws, and slashed at the void in front of him. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In an instant, countless claw lights transformed into flowing blade energy that attacked Domo Luo. Ultimate defense. Domo released his netherworld energy and activated a secret spell. Instantly, the surface of all his tentacles turned into diamond scales that were impervious to swords and spears. Clang, clang, clang. The flowing light blades all bombarded the scales, but they couldn't penetrate them and dissipated. Ha ha! You want to break through my ultimate defense? Dream on. Is that so? After failing in one move, the red tiger didn't hesitate. A sharp blade appeared in his hand. It looked short, but it was actually extremely sharp. It was the divine spiritual treasure, Leopard Headblade. Kill. The red tiger's figure disappeared in the space and then appeared several hundred feet away. It turned into a flowing light and went straight for Domo. Damn it! Domo naturally wouldn't sit still and wait for death. He activated countless steel tentacles and slammed them toward the red tiger. Boom, boom, boom. Every tentacle attack caused the earth to explode and the mountains to crumble. The powerful force shook the 9 heavens and 10 earths. However, the red tiger seemed to know where he was going to attack. Every attack was easily dodged. Such reaction speed was too shocking. So. Although it was attacked by hundreds of tentacles, the red leopard was still able to dodge with ease. It was impossible to grasp its true location. How is this possible? Domo was forced into a passive position. Right at this moment, Red Leopard's figure appeared in front of his weakest tentacles. These tentacles were only responsible for attacking and did not have the steel defense that the other tentacles had. Kill. Scarlet Leopard's eyes emitted a murderous glint as the leopard head blade in his hand slashed out rapidly. Chi, chi, chi. Under the saber light and sword shadow, those weak tentacles were directly cut and shattered by the saber light of the leopard head saber. Ah! A cry of pain rang out. Domo Luo had been gravely injured. Ha ha ha! Accompanied by complacent laughter, Crimson Leopard returned above the 9 heavens and met up with Crimson Tiger. Big brother, these pieces of trash are really too useless. Is that so? This time, we are here to torture and kill. Let's start with the underworld 3 heavens. Yes, exactly. The 2 perverted demonic sovereigns revealed their ugly faces. However, they possessed powerful demonic energy, their demonic might brilliant, making one shiver in fear. Upon seeing these 2 monsters, the entire Netherworld army fell into a passive state. Who are you? Tell me your name. Azura asked angrily. Since you want to know who killed you so much, I'll tell you. I'm Red Leopard. My name is Red Tiger. Red Fong is our big brother. This time, we want to eradicate the Netherworld and take back the core of the 3 realms. Get Yi Chun to surrender immediately, and hand over his treasures. Otherwise, all of you will die without a burial place. Upon hearing Red Leopard and Red Tiger's words, the underworld three heavens were unable to restrain their anger. The two people before them did not take them seriously at all. This was a huge mockery. They are so rude. What are we waiting for? Domo said angrily. Dozens of his attacking tentacles had been cut off by Red Leopard. Now, he hated these people from the demonic world the most. He could not wait to eat their flesh and drink their blood. Towering tentacles. In order to get back at them, Domo did not hold back this time. The huge attack was as large as a mountain, shaking the world and pressing down. Ha ha ha! You want to shake my demonic world army with such power? Facing these towering tentacles, Red Tiger smiled coldly. Roar! With a roar, Red Tiger soared to the nine heavens and punched out. The crowd only saw the fist light explode in the sky. Following that, it turned into countless tiger-shaped attacks that rushed toward the underworld army. Boom, boom, boom. These tiger-shaped attacks bombarded the towering tentacles, causing violent explosions like raindrops in the sky. Domo's tentacles were completely disintegrated and shattered. Arg! The extreme pain caused Domo's body to tremble continuously. The explosion of these tentacles was extremely harmful to him. Domo, are you all right? Indra asked. No problem. Domo stood up again. The injuries all over his body began to heal. Hand over the core of the three realms. This is your only chance. Red Tiger shouted, trying to provoke the Netherworld King. This is the most unwise choice. Azura rebuked. You really don't know what's good for you. Red Tiger was furious. Without another word, he sat cross-legged in the void. A ferocious tiger mount appeared beneath him, and he walked toward the underworld army. Indra's glaring Vajra thousand-hand imprint. Buzz, buzz, buzz. A burst of light blossomed from Indra's body. Following that, the huge figure of glaring Vajra appeared behind him. The power of Buddha was infused into the glaring Vajra. At this moment, the Vajra was furious and wanted to kill. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Indra's figure appeared on the path that Red Tiger took. He sat cross-legged in the void like a meditating Buddha. I didn't expect someone to want to die so soon. Boast! The Vajra behind Indra stretched out a huge palm print and grabbed at Red Tiger. You want to deal with me with such a useless move? Red Tiger's inner breath trembled. The previous tiger-shaped fist light appeared again. Roar, roar, roar. With a brutal roar, the tiger-shaped attack came crushing down. Thousand handprint. Boom, boom, boom. Indra wasn't willing to be outdone. He activated the glaring Vajra thousand handprint. Instantly, countless arms appeared behind the glaring Vajra. It was like the thousand-hand guanine. Countless handprints blasted out and clashed with the opponent's tiger-shaped fist light. Boom, boom, boom. Above the nine heavens, countless energy blasted out, triggering shock waves that shook a radius of 1,000 miles. Countless mountains were destroyed, and countless places on the ground cracked. At the same time, a large number of underworld warriors were affected by the shock waves and fell into madness. Ah-ha-ha! They had strange expressions on their faces as they danced. Following that, a shocking scene unfolded. They took out their sharp blades and waved them around, completely disregarding the lives of their companions. Seeing such a scene, the three heavens were shocked. Chapter 2021. Mighty Tiger Immortal. Seeing that Red Tiger had suppressed Indra, the demons cheered as if they had already won. Ridiculous! Indra was infuriated. The Vajra behind him went berserk once again. Countless arms reached out and bombarded the Scarlet Tiger. Good timing. Red Tiger looked excited. This was his first time fighting in the lower realm. He wanted to show his might and kill the person before him. Roar! Heaven and earth darkened as the ferocious tiger roared. A huge demonic tiger charged at the ferocious tiger behind Indra. Indra was shocked. He didn't expect Red Tiger to attack directly and destroy his source of immortal power. Indra Gale Palm Imprint. Such a threat had to be eradicated. Indra circulated all the immortal power in his body, gathered the power of the gale, and flew up. Rumble! With a loud bang, The tiger-shaped demonic power from before instantly exploded a mountain peak, and that location was exactly where Indra had been previously. You want to escape just like that? Why would I run away? You're underestimating me too much. I'm not underestimating you. I want you to die. Remember my name? Red Tiger. The roar of the tiger sounded again, shaking heaven and earth. In the boundless darkness, a striped tiger charged into the sky and locked onto Indra. Watch out. At this moment, seeing the demonic tiger charging at him again, Azura flapped his wings. Instantly, gusts of wind swept over, trying to disrupt the accuracy of Red Tiger's attack. However, this was all in vain. Red Tiger's power was too strong, and the demonic rules contained within were even more powerful. Boom, boom, boom. The ferocious tiger broke through Azura's gale and charged at Azura. His target is you. Azura originally wanted to save Indra, but he didn't expect the opponent's target to be him. Caught off guard, he was heavily injured. With a scream, Azura's body fell from the sky. Azura. Seeing Azura injured, Domo shouted and reached out with his tentacles to catch him. Whoosh! Domo saved Azura through his tentacles, but the situation became more passive. Ha ha! Sharp laughter sounded. Everyone looked over and saw Red Leopard beside Red Tiger. Second brother, it's up to me now. All right, I'll let you show off your skills. Scarlet Tiger stayed behind to hold down the fort, while Scarlet Leopard flew out. So. In the blink of an eye, the sharp claws slashed across, and blood splattered. Chi. Fresh blood dyed the entire sky red. The Scarlet Leopard's speed was above that of the Scarlet Tiger's, and every attack carried a huge impact energy. This kind of energy could cause extremely large lacerations. Leopard roams the world. The Red Leopard let out an enraged roar, and in the blink of an eye, he had already traversed 100 miles. On the path he took, countless bursts of energy rushed out, and these demonic energy turned into ghosts that reaped lives, unceasingly hunting down the surrounding netherworld realm experts. Blood-curdling screams rang out incessantly. They might have already been killed before they even saw the Red Leopard's figure. These two are too strong. We need to release the Trine Sky formation. Azura, can you still hold on? No problem. For the sake of everyone's comfort, Azura endured the immense pain and responded. All right, activate the formation. The three powerhouses flew up to the 9 heavens, chanting incantations at the same time to activate the formation. Underworld 3 heavens formation. Z. The three of them released their own prowess at the same time, charging into the sky and converging into the image of a seal. The power of 3 days condensed into the netherworld energy seal. Above the void, it spun continuously, releasing countless bright lights. These lights carried the power of the seal's rule and began to counterattack. Red Leopard, don't be arrogant. Indra roared loudly, triggering the power of the seal, transforming into a sword rain that struck the ground crazily. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space shook rapidly. Within the coverage of the seal, there was no place to hide. But right in front of everyone, the Red Leopard actually disappeared. Where did the Red Leopard go? Indra asked. We couldn't find his location. This is very strange. He was originally within the attack range of our seal. Looking at the surrounding environment, although it was full of desolation, they couldn't see the Red Leopard's location. Zung. Right at this moment, suddenly, the three of them looked up at the sky at the same time. A black shadow suddenly appeared. Ha. I'll play with you guys. The light shadow gradually became clear, and it was the Red Leopard. UB**starred. Indra sent out a large hand seal, wanting to kill it in one fell swoop, but the Red Leopard's figure was too agile, and its demonic energy was endless. It was almost impossible to find its location. Triple light protection. Seeing that the Red Leopard disappeared again, Indra activated the triple light protection for safety. Within the power of the triple light, Indra, Azura, and Domo began to meditate. Sizzle. Countless underworld energy surrounded the triple light. Their power was formed by the three great innate masters. Oh, the red leopard revealed a sinister smile. Then, two sharp blades appeared in its hands. These two blades were both supreme-grade spirit treasures. They were sharp and unparalleled. Kill. In order to break through the 3 days formation, the red leopard displayed its might. Everything before him was under Yi Chen's control. Inside the underworld temple, Yi Chen stared at the light screen before him. The images of the red leopard and red tiger had already appeared. Demon realm, you guys can't handle it anymore? Yi Chen's eyes locked on a place in the distance. Although the red leopard and red tiger were powerful, Yi Chen felt that the true powerhouse was behind them. On the battlefield, the red leopard held a sharp blade and showed off its abilities. Swish, swish, swish. A few sharp marks appeared, and the triple light formation had already revealed a flaw. Ha! The triple light formation, what a joke. The red leopard transformed into its leopard form. With its sharp teeth and sharp blades, it charged at the triple light formation. Kill! Indra was enraged. The glaring Vajra appeared again. Rumble! The glaring Vajra struck out with a palm that was like Mount Tai pressing down on the red leopard. Swish, swish, swish. However, the red leopard dodged in a flash. Then, the sharp blade went straight for Indra. Be careful. Domo released countless tentacles to restrain the red leopard. Damn it! The red leopard's blade flashed. In the blink of an eye, it cut those tentacles into pieces. Swish! Indra felt a sharp pain in his arm. He had been hit. Indra, I'm fine. Maintain the formation. Yes. The three powerhouses continued to maintain the formation. As long as the 3 days formation was still there, the demonic tribe army could forget about entering the heart of the underworld. At this moment, the red tiger's eyes were slightly cold. He did not want to waste any more time. Howling heaven and earth, gate of sanguinity. The red tiger attacked again. It was completely different from before. This kind of power could even kill a Mahayana stage cultivator. Rumble. The tiger-shaped true power roared and broke through countless mountains, directly arriving in front of the 3 days. The 3 days were shocked. Caught off guard, the tiger-shaped true power directly broke through the 3 days protective air barrier and destroyed the triple sky formation in the air. Kacha, kacha, kacha. As the 3 days formation was destroyed, the red tiger's suppressive power made the 3 days of the underworld miserable. Their bodies gradually floated in the air. Under such control, they were like ants. Chapter 2022. You lowly ants die. Red tiger roared as his claws tore through the void. The 3 underworld heavens were thrown into the sky at the same time. As the 3 screamed, the demonic tiger opened its huge mouth, trying to devour them. Rumble. Just as the 3 were in danger, there was a loud noise in the sky. Then, a huge hand stretched out from the void and grabbed the tiger's shape. Seeing this scene, Red Tiger suddenly looked up at the void. He did not find any clues, but the huge hand suddenly grabbed. Crack! The tiger's shape suddenly broke and exploded. Rumble! Between heaven and earth, thunder rumbled and a majestic figure appeared in front of everyone. Many powerhouses looked up at the sky. They wanted to see who it was that broke Red Tiger's ultimate technique. Demon, how dare you invade my underworld? At this moment, with a roar, Yi Chen descended. Feeling this powerful inner energy, Red Tiger frowned slightly and looked at Yi Chen. Ha! It seems that you are the lord of the underworld, Yi Chen. Yes, it is me. Why don't you kneel and surrender? Kneel and surrender? Ha! You are really an interesting person. Red Tiger laughed, but the corner of his mouth revealed a cold smile. His eyes were like sharp thorns, locked onto Yi Chen. That kind of murderous look would instantly intimidate ordinary people. Yi Chen sensed that there was an intimidating aura hidden in her expression. The aura could affect one's brain waves and cause them to fall into an illusion. However, Yi Chen was an ancient god. He automatically activated the defense mechanism and blocked the transmission of this energy in the air. Under my deterrence barrier, you can still be as calm as Mount Tai? Red Tiger thought that Yi Chun would kneel and surrender on the spot. However, Yi Chun looked at him coldly without any intention of giving in. This made Red Tiger feel that the person in front of him was somewhat capable. Go! Red Tiger waved his claws, and a gust of wind whistled, attacking Yi Chun. Sword slash. Facing this bloodthirsty gust, Yi Chun slightly waved his fingers, and it was just a simple sword slash. Hiss, hiss, hiss. As the sword cheese sliced itself in the void, everything in the space shattered. The power of the tiger's roar could not escape the fate of being shattered. Such an incomparably sharp slash made the crimson tiger tremble in fear. Impossible! How did this person pinpoint my killer move? Just as he was feeling puzzled, Yi Chun waved his sword finger again. Under Scarlet Tiger's shocked gaze, a sharp gleam shot toward his head. Scarlet Tiger turned pale with fright. He kept retreating. Then his whole body released the power of tiger roar to maintain his balance. Red Leopard, why aren't you moving? Scarlet Tiger, I didn't think that you would actually take the initiative to ask me for help. Is the person in front of you worth you being so flustered? This person is not as simple as he looks. His foundation is definitely not below that of a loose immortal. No way. Looking at Red Tiger's trembling gaze, Red Leopard's heart was in a mess. Could Yi Chun really be that powerful? Scarlet Leopard's figure flashed, and a sharp light flickered in his hand, wanting to kill in one strike. Lord Pluto, be careful! The underworld, three heavens, shouted loudly. They had seen how powerful the Red Leopard was. Clang! Yi Chun stood alone in the air. Two of his fingers grasped the killing light in the air. Space froze in an instant. The Red Leopard's advantage in speed was gone, and he was trapped in the ancient god space. In this space, only Yi Chun could move freely. As for those who were trapped, no matter how fast they would be frozen on the spot, unable to move. Red Leopard felt as if his body had turned into a statue, completely losing the strength to move. This is impossible. What's going on? This feeling was extremely bad. He finally understood what Red Tiger meant. Yi Chun was really not someone they could deal with casually. Even leaving this place had become extremely difficult. Time and space were completely controlled. Red Tiger and Red Leopard's movements were like a slow-motion movie. Every single detail was under Yi Chun's control. Red Tiger, Red Leopard, do you see the difference between us? Yi Chun's voice also became very slow, but the intensity of his voice increased. It was like a pulse, entering Red Tiger and Red Leopard's ears in waves. Their psyche defense began to collapse. No matter what, they would never have thought that they would be trapped in such a strange space. Red Tiger, Red Leopard circulated his origin power and shouted forcefully. No, can be reckless. Although his voice was Han Man's, Red Tiger still reminded Red Leopard that in this space, they must not move recklessly. Otherwise, it was very likely that the slightest movement could have an incomparably huge impact. This was the butterfly effect. Both of them circulated their demonic energy at the same time, releasing the cultivation base of independent cultivators. These energies turned into waves of dense waves, fusing together. Following that, although it was still slow, their psyche could finally communicate. As soon as their demonic psyche moved, their minds could communicate. Thump, thump, thump. At this moment, the sound of heavy footsteps rang out. Both of them looked around at the same time, but did not see anyone. As the sound continued to get closer, they finally saw a huge figure walking toward them. When they saw the giant figure in front of them clearly, their hearts trembled. Yi Chun. What they saw was Yi Chun. His speed was completely different from theirs. He was not restricted by the space before him, moving freely. Red Tiger, Red Leopard, do you admit defeat? No, impossible. Both of them were demon martial world's itinerant immortals. How could they yield and admit defeat? Red Tiger and Red Leopard constantly released their demonic energy, trying to break free from the comfort of the space before them. However, the more they did so, the more they fell into it. This was the strange thing about the ancient god space. 8 gates divine discs. Yi Chen released the 8 gates divine discs. 8 rays of light appeared at the same time. The 8 gates divine discs constantly rotated above Red Tiger and Red Leopard, stabilizing the power of the entire space. It was almost impossible to break through from the inside. Still not showing yourself? Yi Chen pointed his sword at Red Tiger and Red Leopard's heads. Clearly, he was going to activate a killing move. His target was none other than the demon martial world's vanguard Qi Fong, who was hiding in the dark. Oh, looks like you've already discovered me. You don't have to doubt that. Do you want to save them? So what if I do? Ha ha ha. If I were you, I'd leave automatically. Don't get involved in this mess. You're too confident. Qi Fong's eyes focused, and a huge power awakened in his body. Roar. Following the roar, an enormous bird that looked like a red-crowned crane appeared behind Qi Fong. It constantly flapped its wings, and gusts of strong wind force shook Yi Chen's ancient god space.